it was like 20 degrees in Celsius, but now it's like close to minus. I don't know what is happening there.
Okay, but I like it.
But hopefully we're here in a warm studio of EFRAG.
Yeah, okay, so let's go back and introduce the matches. Today we have two matches. The first match is match of Group A. It's Qualifier versus Epsilon. It's a lower bracket match. Qualifier dropped after losing to Sprout 2-0, and Epsilon dropped after losing to Avantgarde 2-0, so this is an elimination match. The one who loses is over with the tournament. And the next match will be a match of Group B. It's actually the last match, a decider. Group A, sorry. So the first match is Group B and the second match is Group A. I'm sorry about that. And so the second match will be NTC versus Vindigo. This is the last match and the decider. NTC came from the winner bracket. That means that they're leading 1-0. And the difference between any previous match is that this is a best of 5. But that match is later on at 4 p.m. CET. And now let's go back to the first match. So guys, what do you think? Qualifier versus Epsilon. Danny, what do you expect?
I was quite unfamiliar with them when they showed up at E-League Major at Boston, but they had really nice performance there. They made themselves as a legend. They get that legend status. And after the major got finished, their results were quite unnoticeable, nothing spectacular. So I think their form is kind of shaky right now. We had a chance to see them playing against Sprout in Group B, and they lost 2-0. And I had to say that they all played quite underwhelmingly. While on the other hand, Epsilon, I remember them from IEM Katowice qualifiers when we did. They surprised us in the playoffs when they managed to take out Navi 2-0 on possibly Navi's best map of Overpass, and it was quite dominating. And later on, I think, I may be mistaken because 2 months passed since then. I think they maybe won against Space Soldiers or Mouse Sports, but I think they got eliminated in semifinals.
Okay, so we can expect a good match.
Yeah.
Matt, what do you think?
I think Epsilon has a lead because Qualifier is better online. After that major, they like fell down, and we didn't see any good results after that. While Epsilon, they have a new 5th player, Janko, also like ace in pocket. We don't know
anything about it.
Yeah, we don't know if he's gonna play well, if he's like gonna pop off, like Smuya can. Smuya is a great opera. He can pick up rifle and lead with rifle as well. But we'll see. We expect a good match. Yeah, Janko.
Can you guys introduce players? For example, Matt, can you introduce Qualifier for us?
Yeah, Qualifier lineup is Quick, Balbina, Boomich, Jimqua, and Waterfalls.
Are there any exceptional players? Anyone we should watch out from them?
I think Boomich is the best of the 5 of them because on a major he like popped off almost every single game. He controlled the Pop Dog versus Mouse Sports on that major very well. And the reason why they won that game was mostly his, how can I say it?
Individual skill or something.
Yeah.
Okay, we are gonna watch
Oh
out.
yeah, and they played against Mouse Sports on Major, and they were losing 13-2 in the first half, and they managed to
from 13 to 2.
Yeah, to make a comeback and win 16-14, and it's quite depressing from Mouse Sports side.
If you're a Mouse Sports fan, yeah.
That was embarrassing.
Okay, we can expect a lot from them. Danny, can you introduce Epsilon lineup for us?
Well, yeah, you have Zach, you have Robin, you have Smuya, Surreal, and the new player Janko. When we watched IEM Katowice, there was Cosmin playing for Epsilon, and I'm not sure why they changed that player with Janko, because Cosmin was in that trio of with Surreal and Smuya. That trio was making a huge impact in every single game. You don't see quite often Zach being a top fragger or even Robin. It's always Smuya and Cosmin, and Surreal is somewhere there. And maybe they had some maybe inner conflicts within the team, because I have no clue what could be the reason why they removed Cosmin and brought Janko. So they're looking quite strong. And yesterday Sprout played against a team called Wind and Rain, which I never heard of, at ESCA Mountain Dew League. They managed to lose somehow on Inferno 16-12, so maybe we can see the same story here.
Okay, so we will see. Let's go into map Veto and see what they picked and banned for today. And okay, so we have Cubifier banned Nuke, Epsilon banned Cobble. The first pick of Cubifier was Mirage. Epsilon picked Inferno. The next two bans are Train and Overpass. And if it comes to a decider, it's gonna be Cash. Matt, what do you think about the first map, Mirage of Cubifier? That's the most played map. Are they better on it than Epsilon?
Epsilon surely has the better skills on Mirage and better stats than Cubifier. Cubifier doesn't have a very good win rate with it. They have like 43% or so. They have a good CT side, and they always like don't lose the CT side when they are on it. But Epsilon is great on CT and on T as well. We see Smuya picking up that AVP and just like popping off. You don't know where he is coming from. You see him one round in B-Apps, you see him one round in Palace, one on ramp, one picking out mid. And you can't expect anything, because as I said, you can see him like running from one side to another and picking up guys and making entries for his team, which is highly appreciated by his
So we should
teammates.
watch out for him.
Yeah, of course. His opening skills are amazing.
Danny, what do you think about these maps?
Well, I
Who
was
do you
quite
favor?
surprised because Epsilon banned Cobblestone. I wanted to see them perform on that map once again because Smuya is really aggressive opper. I remember him going nuts every time on every single map, and especially on Cobblestone. But seems like they aren't comfortable with Cobblestone anymore, so they chose to pick Inferno. Cubifier picking Mirage, that's really questionable since their stats on Mirage are pretty disappointing, while Mirage on the other side of Epsilon is maybe their best, the map statistically looking. And Epsilon picking Inferno, vice versa, once again, it's one of the maps that are... Oh, so we had word from studio that Epsilon actually picked Mirage and Cubifier picked Inferno, so...
That makes more sense, right?
That makes more sense. So yeah, Epsilon definitely, I think they're gonna take Mirage just because of their aim power, they're really aggressive op player. And Cubifier might take Inferno because Inferno isn't the map that suits Epsilon quite decent. And Decider Cash, I remember Epsilon playing on Cash and Smuya once again going nuts with AVP, boosting himself on that counter boost on mid, finding 2 kills there and going back and making that man advantage. So I'm giving edge to Epsilon.
You're giving edge to Epsilon. What about you, Matt?
I will say the same because Epsilon is a better skilled team than Cubifier. Cubifier is awful in this last, I don't know, maybe 10 matches. They won 2 or 3 or so like that, but they lost every single game before today. I think Epsilon will be good for this one.
So you guys both prefer Epsilon, prefer Smuya, and think that after the major Cubifier is not performing that well.
Yeah, of course. But when Smuya make the plays like that, when he just leaves 5-on-3, how can you come back from it? Like, what can you do with that 3 players to beat that 5 and beat that advantage they have? It's hard.
So like, if there's any chance for Cubifier to win today, what do you think that they have to do? What's their chance to win?
Well,
can they win?
They definitely need to have a great start, and Smuya will be a huge threat to them, and they just need to stop him somehow. And if he doesn't get a good start, maybe he will have some problems to find even making his economy for op or something. So if he can buy an op, it can be really disappointing for him.
Is there any player on Cubifier that can match him in op skills, or at least try?
Definitely it's Waterfalls, because when they started at Major, I looked at their lineup, and the only player who I'm familiar with somehow was Waterfalls, because I was sure I've seen him somewhere before, and he was the only one, and I watched him a couple of games playing, and I remember it's on Inferno, and he can deliver pretty much well with AVP. So it's going to be really interesting AWP duel between Waterfalls and Smuya.
Okay, so the match is gonna be ready soon. Time for the last question. Matt, what do you think? Predictions? Who will win and by how much?
If Epsilon wins Mirage, their pick, it's 1-0. And if Qualifier makes a lot of mistakes in Mirage, they will make on Inferno as well. Even if it's their pick, once you make a mistake, you will make it another time, and you just pile up that mistakes, and it will leave open that Inferno, which is their pick. So I think it's gonna be 2-0.
Okay. Danny, prediction for the first map. What do you think first
yeah,
map?
I would say that Epsilon will take this one with a result of 16 to maybe 11. But I would like to say that whoever wins the first map will probably take the second one.
It's just a state of mind. If you win the first, you just like the losing side has a downfall.
It's harder to come
How
back.
can we
afterwards.
come back? What can we do? They are leading 1-0. They beat us. I don't know. They beat us.
And you're coming from a
hard.
momentum, and you're gonna have a great time on the second map.
Okay, understand. So the players are ready for the match, so we can jump right into it. Our commentator for the day are going to be Dean. Dean, take it away.
Thank you, guys. It is just me, myself. And yeah, it should be a pretty good game coming up now. Everyone on the desk seems fairly confident that Epsilon should be able to start this one off 1-0. And it also seems like the overall majority seem to think that whoever gets this good start in this series should be able to close it out 2-0. I don't know about that. I am going to be looking forward to this either way. I think both of these teams have enough experience to be able to kind of bring themselves back after a map loss. Especially Qualifier, of course, after the major run. But then again, as was mentioned, they haven't really been performing too well since the major. So it's going to be an interesting one coming in. Epsilon on the rise recently. And it is going to be a nice little game for us to watch for sure. Here we go. The knife round is going to be getting live. And let's see who's going to be able to get that CT side start. Looking like Qualifier should be able to take it. Yeah, there you go. Qualifier get it, so they'll be able to make the decision about which side they want to begin on. I presume they will swap to the CT side. It is the side of the map that tends to be slightly favoured. And there you do. There you do indeed see that. So switch comes in. We should be getting live into the action now in just a couple of moments. So let's see how this one's going to go. It should be a good one indeed. Epsilon, I'm looking forward to seeing them playing once again with Jenko. Let's see how he plays. It's worth noting that even though they lost their previous game, Jenko did play quite well. It was Smooya that kind of had some difficulty, so if he can step it up now today, I think Epsilon are going to be in a good position again. So, getting into the action. Robin is the man to pick up utility. A smoke and a Molotov. And on the CT side, Waterfalls with a smoke. No kit actually coming in, so that could be a little bit awkward for Qualifier. Let's see, Epsilon right now just seems like they're going to group up over towards the B apartments. 3 players actually going towards middle. And let's see what their goal now is into this round. Molotov going towards window. Smoke towards the top of connector, and I think they're probably going to just try to split out to B with this one, and this could work perfectly. A player, another pass, a player in window. If they went right towards B, it could work quite well, but the problem is there is already 2 players in position. Smooya up close doesn't check the corner. 3 kills for Jump Kit. He gets himself 2. Control of the bomb as well now, as actually he does drop out of the apartments and give it back to Epsilon. So they claim themselves a couple of kills now. They can pick that up, maybe go ahead and get that one planted. And then 3-on-3, this is a winnable situation once again. Jump Kit dropped in towards the apartments. He has assistance, but Jenko steps it up to find 1. Surreal does the same, so now it's all on to Valina, 1-on-3, coming in from the kitchen. And as mentioned, they don't have a defuse kit. Great shot to start it off, though, hits the first. I don't really think that peek's needed to come in from Surreal there. Should be just trying to play time. Jenko doing the same at the bench. Not going for the face quite yet, just making sure that he can run down this time as much as possible, so the bomb won't be defusable. And now he does actually have to go ahead and take this fight, but he wins it out, so it doesn't matter. Epsilon get themselves that 1-0 start. It was such a good beginning to that round there for Qualifier. Jump Kit picking up 2 kills. But it kind of just fell apart afterwards. Force Bido is going to come in. But he's not on the scout. The rest of the players just working with pistols. Let's see how it works. Safe enough buy, I guess, coming in from Epsilon. They only go for 2 rifles, and an AK. Quite heavy investments into those SMGs, 2 MAC-10s and a UMP. I suppose that's to really just allow for extra utility to be bought into this round. And ooh, this could be nice. A little flash being set up for the ladder room, but the scout does a lot of damage. Robin and Chak taken down quite low. Robin and Surreal, rather. And there's Waterfalls finishing off 1. Boomich able to strike onto Jenko as well. Suddenly this round looking pretty good for Qualifier, unless Chak can return a second, and he is actually going to be successful, but still the HP slowly being chipped away for Epsilon. Boomich is able to strike with that retrieve DK, so now it's all down to Chak and Smoothie to try and save this round with a one-man disadvantage, and it's just not going to be working out. Jumpka gets another. Now Smoothie on low HP, yeah, he pushes straight towards Jumpka and gets taken down, so Qualifier, they return it with the force bite. Epsilon, will they buy? It looks like they will. I'm kind of surprised when you didn't buy, because he's usually the player who goes for these force buys no matter what. I'd obviously rather see him eco and save for the op, but a lot of the time he does tend to just kind of force up with the rest of his team, so it's nice to see him maybe bringing a bit more discipline into this one right now. And let's see what Epsilon can get done with the Big and the CZs. Ooh, great shot by Jenko, just walks straight out ramp and decapitates Waterfalls. So Epsilon with a one-man advantage now. Let's see what they decide to do with this one though. There's still a lot of time to work with. Qualifier may try and actually make a play now to bring it back in their favour. And that's something they could maybe be waiting for that aggressive push once again. Make sure they can just get another trade out of that situation. And here you go, it's coming in towards ramp. Velina, he pushes forward as does Boomich. The rifle's now getting up close and there's going to be a lot of pistols waiting around this corner. And Robin, CZ works out, he gets himself one, does a lot of damage onto Velina as well. Chak's going to chase him down. And there you go, Epsilon this round just going completely in their favour. They're able to take over control of the A-bomb site. Surreal, oh, great shot on the quick. Out of nowhere, Jumpka is now the last man standing in a 1-on-5. I don't really think there's too much you can do in this situation. Trapped in towards jungle currently as well. I don't even know if he's going to be allowed to save this M4. And Epsilon return it instantly. Oh, he might be found there. Let's see if Jack checks this corner. Oh, he doesn't go forward at all. Jumpkit doesn't connect the shots though either, so his position's going to be known. He should be allowed to fall back off, and I think a couple of these pistol players may try hunt them down. You can see two over towards the B bomb site. Jumpkit kind of cautious of this though. Does decide to just hang back in towards CT spawn, so I think he should be okay. He should be able to save this M4. Let's see. There is one player up close. That's Robin with the CZ. Oh, he doesn't quite get the shot off in time, so one M4 being carried over at least. Waterfalls, $3,100, Velina, $2,700. The other two players not really looking too great there on double eco, so I think we are going to see the force buy once again. I wouldn't be surprised if it worked out, especially considering this time they have the M4 on the jump kit. But this time Epsilon, they're playing it a little bit more safe. We saw the last time they had a heavy investment into SMGs. This time they have all rifles, 3 AKs, an M4, and the Galil. So trying to make sure now that they can actually go ahead and capitalise on that round they won previously and get off to a good start. Control towards middle, using these rifles in the positions where there's the longest range angles. Making sure that when facing off against those pistols, you're going to be favoured in every single duel. Oh, nice boost coming in, but doesn't work out. We find by quick. Smoothie through the smoke though. Obviously he returns that one, just spamming away. So into a 4-on-4. Does tend to favour the T side. They'll be happy enough with that trade. And they also have a lot of control towards middle. But ooh, this could get dangerous. Boomich has actually pushed aggressively into Palace. And if he gets the timing correctly, Jenko's all alone towards ramp. So let's see. But the problem is it looks like Epsilon right now just want to try and commit towards this A-bomb site. And if they just walk up, they should be able to get it quite easily. The closest player is Velina. He's in towards CT spawn. As long as they don't over-challenge him, then they should be able to get on towards the bomb site. And they also have a Molotov to clear out that position. So let's see what happens. And now on ramp, it is going to be Boomich fallen. The flank does not work out. And the man advantage now in favour of Epsilon is Qualifier once again. They may just want to go ahead and try and save this one if they don't get a fast kill. And there's Waterfalls down. Jumpka finds one, but still it's going to be awkward. He steps it up. So he closes it out as well. Epsilon with a 3-1 start. Should be a full eco now coming in for Qualifier. Also a pause is being called, but this is by Epsilon, so I presume this is technical. Oh, it's already been removed, so it doesn't look like we're going to be waiting too long to get back into the action. Should be an easy enough one now for the UK side. Robin with a Mac 10, he can just go ahead and lead the way right now. Lead the way, rather. Just look to try and build up some bank, and you can see it there. He finds the first. Smoothie to assist. There's a lot of damage actually coming in. These players are quite low, but still up against only P250s and 1 USP. They shouldn't struggle too much. They should have an easy enough time being able to close this one out. See, Quick in a nice position though. Surreal walking up. If he doesn't expect this, maybe a quick double dink could come in. Oh, the jump does not work out. Unlucky Quick. I think that was just a mouse jump. So this round going in favour of Epsilon. Not much Felina and jump kick can do. Maybe a bit of damage at least can be found. One kill for Felina. That's not really too big of a deal. And there you go, Epsilon. They managed to actually go ahead and close it out against these eco rounds this time. So now up against the rifles, let's see if they're going to be able to continue on and keep building themselves up some momentum. Or if we're going to see Qualifier step it up now. They have all the M4s, they have a decent amount of utility to back it up. Main thing they're lacking is the op, which Smooya currently does have available. So let's see now. He's going to bring this over towards mid, it seems. And he's just going to be looking to try and pick himself up an opening kill. And let's see how that's going to work out. Molotov in towards Connector, looking to try and play around the smoke. And yeah, Quick just continuing the face gets taken down. So a good start once again for Epsilon. A man advantage being obtained. Qualifier on the back foot. Let's see what they're going to try and actually go for now to bring this round back. They've gone for A ramp progression. But it seems like they've actually gone ahead and cancelled this one already. So right now, not really too much info for Qualifier to work with. Oh, and Jack is just so aggressive into the apartments. He completely opens up this B bomb site. There was only one player on this side of the map. They've taken a gamble because of that player they lost on mid. And now B is just going to be completely under the control of Epsilon. And I think once again, Qualifier may just have to go ahead and save this. Oh yeah, notice there's a player there. Hasn't pinned in. But he does not expect waterfalls, so that's the op actually dropped. They need to be careful here because it is still only a 3-on-4. Jenko, luckily enough, in a little flank position from top mid. And there you go, he denies that op from being picked up. Even with them two rifles being saved, I don't think Qualifier can scrape out the buy. You can see they are going to be lacking a bit. UMP is being dropped. I don't know if they'll really be buying up around that one. They can probably just get some Kevlar. Yeah, I think that's what they're going for. So they just want to get themselves something to work with in this round so they can at least try and get some damage done. Try and keep the economy for Epsilon low and give themselves some sort of chance to actually pick up this round. Because right now Epsilon getting off to a great start. Where is Cosmin? Apparently Cosmin, I'm not sure, apparently it was something to do with duo skill or something, so they brought in Jenko. Jenko's the new 5th player for this lineup. Oh, and Smooya, okay. He gets pushed down, he's flashed up, he hits a no-scope. Jumka is down, a UMP that was dropped already. Well, dropped out of his hands, and now it's, once again, Qualifier working with a man disadvantage early on into this round. Real coming up Connector. Felina trapped in towards Sandwich. Gets one kill. Oh, he actually gets the second as well. If he can step it up for the hat trick now, it would be very difficult though because of his HP. And the nade is going in either way. Not needed. Chak gets the kill. Smooya with the op going to be able to step it up to take down Quick. Now Boomich is the last man standing. It's winnable though. It is a 1-on-2. The bomb only getting planted right now. But when Robin's able to hit a headshot like that, you have no chance. And Epsilon now leads 6-1. Pause is being called again by Epsilon. So I'm presuming technical. It's been called off again already, so I don't know, I'm a bit confused. Epsilon keep calling pauses for just about 2 seconds. Alright, we've been given the reason for the pause, and it's because Surreal is using the bathroom, so Not exactly how it was said, but we won't say it that way. I know Smooya says TS problem, so I don't know what she was telling the truth about. And here we go, getting back into the action. Qualifier though, this is when they finally get out that first full buy. Full buy in terms of having the up onto waterfalls, having all the utility they could ever want. Other than the Valina, who lacks a small amount, and they also actually have the secondary up onto Jumpka, so this is going to be an interesting round out to see. Let's see if Smooya is still going to be able to win out these up duels, or rather these opening duels, because this is going to be his first chance to actually face off against another big green gun. A little bit of a slower round from Epsilon. I guess after calling that pause themselves, they were expecting Qualifier to have maybe discussed what they wanted to do in this round, and maybe they were expecting it to be a bit more of an aggressive play. Maybe they were expecting them to try and challenge towards middle. As we can see right now, though, Qualifier just hanging back, taking a bit of a standard approach, but they're actually completely giving up the B bomb site. They have a player up in ladder room, or up on short rather, with the up. So if he's to get smoked off, then the B bomb site is going to be very, very weak. And you can see at the moment, at least, the bomb is hanging around over towards this side of the map. So this could maybe work against Qualifier. Yeah, Epsilon grouping up now with all 5 players. So the B-bomb site is looking to be the target. Jumpka repositions though, so he's in a good position now at the top to at least get info early on and fall back. I think that's a one-way smoke. That's a ooh, nice shot by Waterfalls, and that is indeed a one-way smoke for Jumpka. So let's see how this one works out. This is going to be really nice. The players, they should be aware that this is a one-way smoke though the second they see it lifted off the ground. And here we go, making their way in. Flashes, they're quite good. Jumpka still finds one, jumps out into the Molotov, and actually gets a second onto Robin. Let's see if he's going to be able to find any more. May not be needed though. Quick in position. Spreads down 2. Qualifier get themselves a perfect gun round. They don't lose a single player. That's exactly what they needed now in order to get themselves back into this half. So they get everything they want. They can get themselves back. They can get themselves all that utility once again. And Epsilon, let's see now. They buy up. They do have an up onto Smooya again. They have all the rifles. They don't have too much money left in the bank. So crucial round. Whoever wins this should be able to get themselves into a good position. Epsilon take it. They'll get themselves they'll continue to increase this lead even further. Qualifier, they need this one out to try and actually break the economy of the UK side. Looking like a fast A play right now from Epsilon, so changing up the pace. Previous round didn't work. They're just going to go ahead and execute straight towards this bomb site, and Valina, easy pickings there from CT spawn. Takes down Jack, and Epsilon now, they're going to try and push in towards the CT spawn, it seems, to try and actually return that frag, but Jumpka's in position now to try and assist. He finds one, Robin falls, and it's a little bit of an awkward situation right now for Epsilon. Surreal though, doing his best to pull this one back, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough. Valina gets himself another, and Smooya left in a 1-on-4, stuck in towards this default position, a very awkward spot to try and clutch from. As long as you aren't given opportunities like this, the player in towards CT probably wants to stop jumping. So Molotov goes in. That should be the round now in favour of Qualifier. There we go, Boomich pushes forwards. He gets one more at least, but it's not going to be a big deal. Yeah, no bomb plant, so Epsilon, they can't buy. If they got the plant, they would have been able to just about scrape out a buy. Smooya, I think, would have been the only one not able to fully invest. But as we can see now, it should be an eco coming in. Bringing it towards mid. A lot of deagles and up to face off against. And let's see how this one works. The timing could actually work in their favour. We see that player jumped out to try and face underpass. But Epsilon didn't decide to actually peek this one themselves. And ooh, waterfalls. Perfect find. Expects Robin to be on that angle. And also at the same time, Jumpka's able to open it up onto Chak with his secondary up. So a good start into this round for Qualifier. Themselves a 5-on-3 advantage. And also in terms of the firepower, they're working with a much better weaponry. Nice dink at least by Surreal, but not enough for the kill. Don't think there's much Epsilon can do right now in this situation, unless Boomin shoots his teammate. That can maybe give them some sort of assistance. But there we go, Valina spots out one, and he gets the second coming out of ramp. So another perfect gun round coming in by Qualifier. They survive with 5 players. And these last couple of rounds now have been quite one-sided, so Qualifier are starting to build themselves up a bank. Epsilon now get back onto the buy. Surreal, I believe, dropped over and off to Smooya. And let's see now, Epsilon. Will they continue grinding out rounds on this T side, or will Qualifier be able to stabilize themselves on the defense? Bit of a heavy short presence right now coming in for the CTs. Looking to try and contest mid, I guess that's for. See, the op was pushed up. Well, Waterfalls is pushed up still. He did have support from Quick, but ooh, awkward nade. Oh, and jump get down to 25 HP. That's not a good start. Luckily enough, Waterfalls was aggressive, but coming out of underpass, he actually gets a second. That's a great kill indeed to find, so that they actually do manage to come out on top of that trade 2-1. Smoothie as well, quite low HP, so this is a good start in this round for Qualifier, even with that enough team damage that was done early on. Boomich wins out the fight towards ramp. And this gun round right now looking like it should be going in favour of Qualifier. Unless Chak and Smoothie are able to pull off something, and I don't see that being so likely right now. They're in towards mid, they're making their way back over towards what looks to be the B apartments, which maybe could be the correct decision. Jumpka's all alone, and it's also worth noting, if you remember back into the start of this round, he did get naded down by his teammate to 25 HP, so a single bullet will take him down. But he is allowed to fall back off as that flash is a little bit messed up by Smoothie. He's been spotted now, but he does also have assistance. Quick in position, Jumpka gets one more before falling. Smoothie on 21 points of HP now, left to try and actually clutch this one out. Around the bomb site, he knows there's one on the back lines, I think, but as he taps the bomb quick, is he going to be able to find this? And yeah, he is indeed. Smoothie not quick enough on the flick. Looking like a fast B play, or at least a slightly faster approach towards the B bomb site. I don't think they're going to rush it. You can see they are just being a bit quiet. They want to maybe try and catch this op off guard, which is fair because we know they have a double up setup in. Oh, messed up flash by Smoothie again. Second one should work out. That's going to go perfectly out the window. Blind up any players on short, but it does blind up his teammate. Chak gets in the way of it. He gets blinded, and actually the kills do work out in favour of Epsilon. 3 players waiting on this B bomb site. And of course the CZs are what come out victorious. Nice find by Waterfalls though, does shut down Smoothie. And this is very winnable now because of the HP onto these players. You can see Valina and Waterfalls very, very low. Oh, not Valina and Waterfalls, rather. Valina and Waterfalls in the 2-on-3, and all the 3 terrorists are very, very low. My apologies, but right now Chak up close in kitchen. He notices a player in towards there and he hits the shot. Waterfalls mid-air gets taken out. And now Valina, last man standing. They have a decent amount of economy to work with, but the chance of winning this 1-on-3 is very small. Very, very low. The risk and reward, not really worth it. So it looks like he is going to go ahead and just back off, try and save this one, because he's probably not aware of how low all these players actually are. And also, the time was slowly ticking away. So right now, Epsilon, they managed to actually pull it off with only pistols, and they saved themselves an op as well as 2 rifles into it. The game only goes to 16. That's kind of a lie, because there can be overtime. Let's see though, Qualifier, they won those gun rounds quite cleanly, so they are able to invest once again. Oh, and Jenko, he might just be straight into the upper Waterfalls, which he does indeed. So he gets taken down. And Qualifier once again take themselves an open man advantage to work with. Epsilon going to decide to do. Looks like they're going to just try and go back towards B. I guess in the previous round, the fact that they were able to pull it off with just pistols gives them some hope that they can bring it back into 4-on-5 now. And look how aggressive Jumpka is, but this time he's actually using the rifle, not going to be open. Doesn't matter though. Great find by Robin, able to get the crosshair placement perfectly. And now Quick is going to have to try and hold down this B-bomb site to try and delay for his teammates to get into position, which he's done so quite successfully. He gets 2. Boomich going to be able to strike as well. And now it's all onto Surreal in a 1-on-3, and Valina on a great angle spotting the cross. He doesn't want to continue taking that fight, doesn't want to give the opportunity for Surreal to win out the 1-on-1. 40 seconds remaining, and he may at least be able to find this bomb plant. The CTs are going to allow for it to happen. And now it's going to get awkward, because 3 opponents to find as long as they play this together. Surreal should have basically no chance in this clutch. Nade goes in. That should do a lot of damage. 30 down to 8 now, but he wins that one fight. Perhaps winnable, but the problem is Waterfall's already up close. They're going to be coming in from both sides, and he gets taken down. So QB5, they managed to get themselves that round there. After finding the opening pick, the round does eventually go in their favour with 2 players alive, and they easily have the defuse, just waiting to try and recover themselves some of that utility that may be laying around. And QB5 now up to 6, so only 1 round of the difference. Epsilon, they're slowly grinding out rounds on this T side, but QB5 are building up that momentum now. Epsilon do get a pretty solid buy into this one. The main weakness is that Mactan onto Surreal, which isn't ideal, of course. Let's see how that works out. Smoothie right now, he has the op. He's brought this over towards middle, and he's looking to try and find an opening pick. And let's see if that's going to work out. Boomich was tempted to get aggressive. Doesn't decide to go for the peek. If he goes in towards connector now, doesn't matter. He wins out that fight somehow. So yeah, timing doesn't work out. I think he had just begun to look away from that position. He gets taken down. So QB5, similar to the previous round, they started off with a nice little one-man advantage to work with. It's real though. He is very capable with this op. He was originally known for his op and prowess before moving over to NA. And he is going to be able to pick that one up and look to try and bring this round back in their favour now. Just under a minute remaining, so they need to make a decision soon about where they want to bring this. And it looks to be over towards A. I was gonna say, it seems like QB4 are taking a bit of a gamble and sending Boomich over towards B, but he does decide to just hang around the CT spawn, make sure no one can get boosted into window to flank through jungle. And now Epsilon, with just 4 players, all coming through this, well, I was gonna say through ramp, there's 1 player in Palace, but still, it's just gonna be very difficult. I can see a pretty solid setup right now, winning towards CT spawn with the op. That's Waterfalls. If Surreal finds this, this is very doable though, and there you go, he starts it off great. Now Belina under the Palace, he hasn't been checked yet, the Molotov goes in, but Surreal completely unaware, it allows for Belina to take 2. And now Boomich slowly chipping away at the HP of Chak, a man advantage still in play for QB4. As Robin and also Chak are left to try and clutch this out. Swedish and the Greek import. Let's see if that's going to work out. Great start for the CT side. Boomich, he shuts it down. Robin only found a single kill. And QB4 go ahead and equalise the scoreline at 7-7, and of course with this being the last half of the first, the last round of the first half rather, Epsilon are going to be investing what they can into this one. Let's see what they're going to be able to get. Most likely just pistols, it seems. The nearest major for CSGO, I don't follow Dota, the nearest major for CSGO is going to be the Face It major, which is in late September. Yeah, I think it's late September. Why is Conor McGregor commentating? Why not? For the crack, you know? That doesn't mean for the drugs. Crack means fun in Irish. Same. Boomich, close on the smoke. He knows Robin's right there. He saw the Molotov coming out. It's aggressive in around the smoke, and actually he's able to get in behind the opponent. Let's see if they're aware of this, and it doesn't seem likely. The bomb plan should at least come in. Smoothie with the CZ, and this is the weapon that you do have to fear. Luckily enough, the trade comes in successfully by Waterfalls, and right now it's looking difficult for Epsilon. The HP, it's so low. Chak is the last man standing, and the bomb is just being defused right now as he will be dropped by Quick. So QB4 managed to pull that half back and get themselves into the lead by 1 round. Hello, Cullen Miracle. No, 20 to 23rd of September. Yeah, that's what I think that's what it is. I don't know what Freddie said. Seven rounds on the T side is a pretty good performance from Epsilon, but I think the fact that they started off so well, they had a 6-1 lead. They were probably expecting a bit more out of that one. They were probably hoping for at least double digits. We do have a bit of a break, guys. We do have just about a minute before we get into the second half. So while we have time, I do want to tell you guys to go ahead and check out gg.bet. Nice little place for betting on esports. If you scroll down underneath the actual game here itself on Twitch, you'll see a little link in the chat that you can click, and there's also one for the promo code. So if you want to go ahead and head on over to that website to bet on esports, make sure you do so. Worth noting that everyone on both sides seems to be stepping it up. No one really trailing too far behind. The difference in frags for the QB Fire is a little bit more. It's 6 between Jump Get and Quick. Over on the Epsilon side, it's only, I believe, a 4. Yeah, so 12 and 8 is the difference between them. 9 on another. So everyone kind of stepping it up. No one underperforming so far in this game. And hopefully we see an entertaining second half now coming in. Sellout? I am indeed. Wasn't even told to do that one. That was just an optional sellout. It's good practice for selling out, you know. You need to know how to do that as a commentator. But yeah, right now, they are just going to be executing towards the A-bomb site. Smoke goes down, or rather, I think that's a decoy that goes down. I'm not quite sure, but USP long range now in towards jungle, and actually doesn't really work out for Smurry early on, and he gets rushed down. Trying to escape, but he's not going to be able to make it out of the window. Man advantage in favour of QB Fire, as well as the bomb being planted, so it's going to be an awkward retake, especially with more headshots coming in from the Glocks. Robin doing his best to return it, will get one. And he actually gets a second, and Surreal steps it up as well, so out of nowhere, Epsilon, they get themselves into a favourable position. Robin needs to be cautious of that connector flank, and he isn't. He spots out that player. He will connect the shot with the USP, and the defuse was already being stuck, so out of nowhere, Epsilon just pull that round back. How does that happen? 8-8 now. QB Fire, even with a 2-man advantage and the bomb down, they still managed to lose the half their plant. Now, QB Fire, at least getting the bomb plant means that they will be ecoing into this round. They'll have the full buy into the following. They'll have their rifles, but unless they get a bomb plant and a couple of kills into this, or a couple of kills rather, they likely are going to lack in terms of utility. And that's a decent nade to start this one off. A lot of damage being done. Robin up close and connector. Let's see what he can find with this M4. He needs to be cautious, doesn't want to get overwhelmed, but Smoothie instead to find first contact. Will actually be traded out 1 for 1. Ooh, Robin, this player creeps up around connector. Still finds it. That could have been very awkward if he fell and handed an M4 away. Nice spot by Robin. No gap in the smoke allowed for him to see that player running across. And as you would expect now, Epsilon, they should be able to take this round. Only P250s and Kevlar-less opponents. 2 of them to be exact. Make that 1. Robin creeps out onto mid and now over towards the apartments. Quick has been spotted as well. There you have it, Epsilon. They reclaim the lead. AUG for Smooya, okay. What is this? He couldn't afford an op, I guess, so he went for an AUG. I guess I can see where he's coming from. He wanted that longer range weapon to try and hold down mid, so it kind of makes sense. Depends how much practice he has with it, because it can be a bit of a difficult weapon if you haven't actually practiced this one properly. So let's see right now. Jump just creeping out over towards B. A lot of damage being found onto Smooya. And it is just the default from QB Fire, but it looks like they're trying to make individual plays across the map, realizing maybe that a couple of weaker weapons have been carried over. They want to try and take the aim jewels and see if they can win them out to find those openings. And early on, the HP goes in their favour indeed. Smooya to 36, as was mentioned. QB Fire right now, looking to try and get that control towards middle. Let's see. QB Fire, 40 seconds remaining, so they need to make a decision soon about where they want to bring this. And with the bomb over into the apartments, it's looking likely to be a B hit. Currently only Chak in position to hold this down. Bit of support from Smooya over in kitchen, but he doesn't have the op, he does only have the AUG, so it's going to be a bit harder to actually try and get the kills as they cross the window. Let's see if he can prove me wrong though. Robin catches the lurker in towards the window position. And now QB Fire, with only 20 seconds remaining, have to get onto the bomb site, get these kills and get the bomb planted, and it's looking a little bit awkward. Waterfalls does get one. Smooya, he gets another kill before falling there, which is actually a pretty good job to make sure that Epsilon retain the man advantage. And Surreal gets caught off guard. The time is just so low, there's nothing that can be done. Boomich even finding that kill into the window room. it won't be enough. Robin turns around and finds the return as well. So Epsilon win out that gun round, get themselves up to double digits. And now they lead 10 to 8 as once again QB Fire aren't going to have the economy to actually allow for this buy to come in. Should be another eco now. Maybe a couple of pistols can be upgraded, but not really too much more. Bit of utility. 2 smokes, 2 flashes. And as you can see right now, they're grouping up outside of A. So their aim for this round, the goal for this round is just get a couple of kills, weaken the economy of Epsilon. And the #1 priority is to get that bomb planted because they want the extra $800 per player so that they can get a perfect buy into the next round. And let's see if it's going to be possible. It's very likely considering you can see these CTs are playing quite passive. They are mostly playing for the retake, so a couple of well-placed smokes could allow for it to come in indeed. But ooh, opening kill by Valina. They're playing around this triple box now, needs to step it up, and it's not going to happen. The CZ comes out victorious. Quick drop Surreal, retrieves himself an M4. Now it's a 5-on-3 as Epsilon not successfully able to hold this A bomb site, and the retake is going to be extremely difficult. Smooya steps it up, as does Jenko, so now it's back into a 3-on-3. There is still utility remaining as well. Opening kill once again by Chakto, so it's going all back in favour of Epsilon. Jenko gets one as well, and now it's all onto Valina, who's extremely low on HP, and tried to wrap around towards Connector, but he needed his teammates to survive a bit longer. It doesn't work out. Epsilon get themselves that round. They pull it back in a 3-on-5. They lead 11 to 8, but as we said, the goal there for that round for QB4 was a couple of kills on a bomb plant, and it works out for them. So now they have a great buy coming into this one. They have the op, they have plenty of utility. They have all the rifles with the utility also to back it up, so they'll be able to come into this round now with any sort of set strategies that they may have prepared. They'll have all the utility to work this mid control if they want. And let's see what Epsilon do. Will they can just continue on with this fairly standard setup, or will they try and maybe get a bit aggressive, maybe try and challenge towards middle, try and get in the face of their opponents? And no, it doesn't really seem so. They're going to continue. They're going to continue just playing this really passive setup, not really challenging actively towards B, not going for the jump peaks, not trying to get the info. And over on A, they're just playing the retake. So let's see how this works out once again. Damage early on, going heavy in favour of Epsilon, which isn't really ideal for QB Fire. Player down to 41, 1 to 69, 1 to 90. Which means that there's 2 M4s, there's not too many M4s, but they will basically be AKs up against those players, 1 shots to the head. So they're slightly weakened. Seconds remaining now, and the B-bomb site defense is going to be tested. Smooya in a good position though to try and spot towards short, but the problem is Chak instantly gets taken down, and now Smooya just in a horrible position with players coming in from every single side. Oh, he hits that shot through the wall. The problem is Boomich in position, quick as well, going to be able to find a kill onto Jenko. And the B-bomb site now under the control of QB Fire. They should be able to claim themselves this round unless some mistakes are made. And you can see already Epsilon, the remaining 2 players have decided to save this one. So Robin and Surreal backing off. The economy for the CT side, not amazing. These 2 players who are saving are the ones who actually don't have enough to buy. So with these 2 managing to actually carry over these weapons, the rest of them should be able to invest into the next round. So we should see another full buy coming out for Epsilon. They may lack a bit in terms of utility, but it should be pretty decent overall. Don't think QB Fire would ever bother hunting this one because they don't really have much economy themselves. Yeah, and as I mentioned, they do get the buyout, but it's not perfect. 2 FAMASs in order to get some form of utility. I believe Robin and Surreal were able to buy themselves with the utility, but the other 2 players have to sacrifice in order to get that alongside the slightly weaker rifles. But the main thing is Smooya does get the AWP to work with. which so far he has been fairly impactful on. Done a good job of finding those opening picks on the T side. And let's see if he's going to have an opportunity now over on that short position, because for the moment at least it seems like Qualifier are just playing this round quite passively, waiting to see if Epsilon decide to get aggressive, maybe being cautious, not sure about if they're up against that full buy or not. Playing the split and pick, but actually as I say that, they are just grouping back up over towards A, so let's see if they just want to try and immediately execute. And here we go, they are indeed going to be doing so. Molotov's going in from the CT side as well to try and slow it down. Right now that gives time for Epsilon rather to begin to rotate into position, but with the smokes down, the players are going to held back. A lot of damage by Surreal, their waterfall's down to 2 HP. And Robin is not in a good position to try and catch these players pushing in towards jungle, and there you go, he gets one, spots out a second on the steps. And Jenko rather, in position to go ahead and assist. So a 2-man advantage being claimed, make that 3. As the FAMAS steps it up once again. So Boomich and Jumke now left to try and clutch out this after plant, and it's not looking so likely. But Jumke starts it off well. Won't be able to find more than just a single frag though. So I think with that, the round now should be in favour of Epsilon. I think already Boomich has given up on this one. He's just trying to save the AK, realising that the chances of him being able to pull this off are very low. And there you have it indeed. So AK should at least be carried over. But Epsilon instantly returning that one. QB4 can't buy though, so they will be able to get a pretty solid one into this, I think. Someone can drop an up, yeah, Quick or Valina could have dropped an up, and it is going to be Quick that does so. I think that, honestly, that was a pretty decent idea to push into jungle there with the flashes, because they didn't have any map control. They were trying to... They probably realised their afterplants on the A-bomb side have been weak, and they were trying to get themselves into good positions, and I'm pretty sure they also spotted 2 players towards the CT spawn, so if they had been able to take down Robin, they would have had full control of jungle, they would have had a great spot to try and play off of, so you can see what they were thinking, but it just didn't work out. But there we go, Waterfalls with the op is going to be able to find a great open and pick onto Robin, so a man advantage, mid control being taken as well for Qualifier, and Epsilon now looking to try and recover this one. Smoothie boosted up on short, doesn't quite have the view currently. Oh, he spots at the top of the head. Let's see, oh there we go, Smoothie, great shot, not even a wall bang, he just spots out the pixel and takes him down. So back into a 4-on-4. And here we go, Qualifier. Looks like they just want to commit towards the A-bomb site, which only Surreal is there to defend. Second op though in play as well, something we didn't really mention. He's very capable with this weapon, so let's see how it's going to go. But now the bomb gets planted, and this is likely going to leave it into a 4-on-4 retake. When you have that double op setup, this is when it becomes a little bit awkward, trying to actually push forward and clear out all the positions. And let's see how it's going to work out now. They do have the defuse kits, they have plenty of utility to try and clear out these positions. They need to be cautious right now, because you can see there is actually a player pushed up very aggressively into jungle. Doesn't matter though, Smoothie wins out that fight somehow. Again, the op of Waterfalls will be able to return it, but it's a 3-on-3, smoke going to be going down onto the site. The op of Smoothie steps it up to find a second, and Waterfalls does the same as he finds a hat-trick. So into a 2-on-1, the bomb is being stuck, but it is going to be denied. Waterfalls with a quad kill in that round to allow for QB4 to get themselves up to 9, or rather up to 10, my apologies, but yeah, double digits now, 2 rounds in the difference. And Epsilon, they don't have the economy to actually buy into this one, so likely are going to be going for an eco. Zeus for Robin, okay. Let's see how that works out. This is an interesting boost right now from Epsilon over towards Palace. There's one player in towards his position, that's Boomich, so maybe this could work out if he pushes forward and hands them over an AK, but there's also 4 players on ramp. And with only Jenko to try and actually hold down that position, he shouldn't really be finding too many, and then these players are just very exposed. So let's see how it works out. They decide to push in towards Palace, which does actually go in their favour. So Surreal able to take that 1 kill, get himself a rifle to work with. And I think by Jenko now does a bit of damage. It's Smoothie instead that has the AK, but a Molotov is actually going to force him back. So should allow for at least the bomb plant now to come in for QB Fire. At this point, I don't really know how much Epsilon can do. But ooh, the HP has been really chipped away. Quick down to 14. Lena takes a lot of Molotov damage as well as he's dropped to 31. So pretty good start to this retake. But as I say, that waterfalls. He takes down 2 players on the flank, and Jumpka taps off the head of Robin, sprays away, and eventually finds Smooya. So QB4, they managed to just about take themselves that round. It was very close if you look at the HP, but in the end they get themselves up to 11. And now Epsilon and back onto the buy. Jenko drops over and up. Gives that to Smooya as you would expect. And now the buy. That's going to decide whether QB4 can equalise the scoreline or if Epsilon continue to build their lead. So let's see, this is a crucial one. Not a lot of utility to work with either for Epsilon, and also only that one diffuse kill onto Chak. Waterfalls takes down Smooya on mid, so good start into this round once again for QB4. See, because of losing that man early on, Epsilon, they're trying to bring this round back in their favour. They're trying to get aggressive. They're trying to actively take fights. And Jenko being taken down over towards the ladder room isn't really going to help out, because now it's going even further in favour of QB4. Player in towards window right now, actually, for the Russian side. That's Jumka. Seems like Robin's definitely aware of this one, but right now as the T's make their way over towards B, Chak is alone. Once Chak gets some contact, it's likely that that Robin will have to begin to rotate to try and assist, and that allows for Jumka to get a great flank. So this is just a really good position right now for QB4. This is going to be so difficult for Epsilon to try and hold. You can see Chak even decides to just back off, and as he backs off, his teammate pushes him towards the bomb site. So this is a very questionable decision. Now Robin is going to be in an awkward spot. He has to take multiple kills, and it's just not going to happen. He finds a single. That is it. And Valina steps it up to find Chak as well. But I guess Robin was kind of forced out into the bomb site. I'm not sure if he knew there was a player actually flanking behind them. I think he was kind of cautious of it. So you can see where he was coming from, having to push in. But it probably should have been communicated better, because we should have seen the player who was on short sticking around to actually assist them. What was the molly for? I think it was to try and stop anyone. I don't think it went exactly where he wanted to put it, but I think it was to stop anyone who tried to jump out the window from like doing so freely. I think that was his plan anyway. So Real just trying to save. May be able to do so. A couple of players going for the hunt right now. If he peeks this waterfall to position, oh, we get the off, so good work by Surreal. But there you have it, QB4 once again equalises the scoreline, and there is going to be a pause in play, so I'd presume at this point it's tactical. Yeah, Robin called a pause, so I'd presume this is tactical for Epsilon. Maybe I can get that confirmed by the producer. We'll find out hopefully soon. Oh, you guys can't see the chat, but there's a bit of BM going on. It's all friendly though. It was friendly, don't worry. Show you the chat. I can't. I'm not the producer. I'm just casting. That's all I'm doing. It was just a joke. The E-bot is having trouble. It's shown 13-12 instead of 12-12, and when Boomich pointed it out, Robin said that'll be the scoreline anyway, so. Well, it's kind of not BM, because I guess he was kind of implying QB4 would take this round, but... Well, if he was implying Epsilon will take it, it's a bit unlikely considering their buy is quite weak, but they do have the up for Smooya to work with, which is a positive, so... Let's see where he decides to take this one. Let's see what he tries to actually do with this one. Smooya right now. You see him actually bringing this over towards, I believe, Connector. Yeah, towards Connector indeed. Playing this a little bit more passive though. He is robbing the support. He's just trying to play the angle to hold the short push. And as we can see, Jenko's going to have a massive task at hand to try and hold down the B-bomb site. Gets one. Better than perhaps you could have expected. And actually, Jack was in position as well, but it's not going to work out. Quick takes him down. B-bomb site is going to be under the control of Qualifier, but not perfectly. See, actually, Boomich getting caught off guard. He tries to jump across. Smooya hits the up shot. And now it's a 3-on-3 with the HP not really being spectacular for the Qualifier side. So this could get a bit awkward. Smoke going down to try and delay these players from being able to push forward, which allows for the bomb plant now to come in. Let's see. All these CTs are coming in from different positions, which is the problem. Robin retrieves himself an AK though. He can find this opening kill, it's doable. There we go. He does find one, but he loses Smooya in the process and steps it up to find Quick as well. Waterfall's now all alone in a 1-on-2. Playing around the bomb site, spots out the first player and wins out the duel. Back to the P250, but Robin finds it. And does he have time for the defuse? The answer seems to be no to that, so he does decide to just go for the op and run away and try and save this. So yeah, unless he had a kit, he wouldn't have had time for the defuse. And Epsilon, even with being able to find all 5 kills in that round, Qualifier managed to take the lead. And now the boys should come back out. So good damage at least being found, but Qualifier already have themselves a decent amount of economy built up. So even after investing into this one, I think they are still going to have enough money left over, even if they lose a round to buy. So yeah, Epsilon right now need to try and chain a couple of gun rounds together. Otherwise, Qualifier may just run away with the remainder of this map. What's the score? The score is 13-12. Oh, if you throw on audio, I can try and keep people updated on scores through my voice as well. But you wouldn't be able to hear me saying that, so what am I saying? I couldn't actually hear the bomb itself because I was speaking. Apologies. The second I stopped speaking, I realized I didn't have time. Irish caster? Yes, I am indeed, but let's see. As I mentioned, a crucial round for Epsilon to take. Otherwise, Qualifier likely just going to run away with the remainder of this game, and that's a great start. Boomich just walking out. Palace finds 2. Robin and Surreal fall, and so does the control of the A-bomb site now over into the hands of Qualifier. So, Epsilon, not a great start into this gun round. They don't really find much as the players come towards the A-bomb site. Boomich brought to 11 HP, but that's really the only thing they were able to get done. So now, Jenko, Chak, and Smooya to try and actually pull this one off, and it's not looking likely. Jump cut on short, he finds the backstab. And as we can see, it was all a bit of a ruse. Qualifier, they've brought the bomb back towards B. And Smooya and Chak now are in the complete wrong positions. They're over on the other bomb site. They realise now that it's planted towards B. Quick gets himself 1 kill, and he finds the second onto Chak. So, Qualifier with a very dominant gun round, and Epsilon once again are going to be forced onto an eco. If they want to buy, they have a bit of money perhaps to try and do it. You can see 2 players just above 5,000, but the rest of them are quite low, so it's going to be awkward for me. He may go glass cannon off, I think. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. There you go, indeed, he does get that, but it's not a great buy at all by Epsilon. Are they in Northern Ireland or the South? It's Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, but yeah, I'm from Dublin, so the Republic. I'm not from the South. If I was from the South, I'd be from somewhere like Cork, which is... No, I don't like Cork. That's just the BM at all my friends from Cork, by the way, so... Irish girls are the best. I don't know, I've had some bad experiences. I don't know if I agree with that. Ooh, nice shot by Smooya though. He starts us off well by taking down Quick. And Robin alive on the bomb site as well. And actually, this is a very heavy stack right now towards A from Epsilon. And this may work out. You can see the kills so far are going to be going in their favour. Smooya taking a lot of damage down to a single point of HP. There's still a man advantage in favour of the UK side. Only Surreal to fall so far. And let's see now. Molotov going in is going to delay jump kit just a small amount. Bit of a misplay perhaps for 2 Molotovs to be thrown at the same time, and one of them actually landed on top of that smoke, so not perfect. Molotovs being perhaps wasted, and because of that they do only have a single smoke remaining, but now the T is looking to try and come towards this bomb site once again. They have to do so, of course, with the bomb being down in the open. And Waterfalls with the op right now posted up, hoping that Smooya perhaps will just overextend and give him the opportunity to find an open and peak, but no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to be happening, rather. Waterfalls, he loses out the aim duel, and as does Valina. So Jumpkin out 1-on-4. and away. We'll eventually find that kill in towards jungle, but 12 HP now to try and take down 3 players with only the same amount of seconds. Make that 9 now. You can see he has basically 0 chance in this round. Seeing the way we're scared. Do you mean what do they call it? If you're talking about the things that the Scottish people wear, no, I don't. They actually are Irish though, so I'm surprised you knew that. You knew that, rather. A kilt, that's what it's called. Kilt, I forgot. Oh yeah, Neil just said it just after I said it. Just know there is delay on the stream, so I remembered the name of that before you told me. Before you told me in chat, so. You, bro. But yeah, full buy still coming in from both sides. Qualifier, they had enough to reinvest into this one. And if Epsilon can actually chain these 2 rounds together, they'll put themselves in a pretty good position. Other way around, if Qualifier take this, then Epsilon likely going to have their economy broken for what could be the final round of this map. So, crucial one for the UK side to pick up if they want to actually try and have a chance now to take this first map. Really standard round coming in by Qualifier, just focusing on this mid control, and that's a nice smoke. But Smoothie still has a good position to try and play over this one. Doesn't seem like anyone's going to go towards Delpan though. That would have been his best opportunity to find the opening kill. Waterfalls, I think he does actually spot out 1 player, but Robin with a gap in that window, Smoke is able to strike. I don't know if that was a smoke by the T side. If it was, that was a bit of a failure, but luckily enough, Valina, he returns it. Robin now aware that it's a window boost. He wins out that fight against Quick, so into a man advantage once again for Epsilon. The trades go in their favour. Qualifier now with 40 seconds remaining, have to try and bring this bomb towards the site quite soon, and it's looking like A is going to be their target. Boomich, oh, he doesn't win that fight either. He gets taken down by Surreal. So right now, Epsilon in an amazing position to take themselves up to 14, unless Jumpka and Valina can pull off a bit of a miracle right now. 25 seconds to open up this A bomb site. Valina, he's not even looking towards A. Instead, he's creeping his way up through short, which means that there's basically nothing that can be done. I guess he's hoping to try and pull the rotate off, but I don't think that's going to happen. Unless Epsilon spot the bomb, they shouldn't be rotating. And Valina right now, he has so little time. He's just continuing to walk, and there's only 10 seconds. Yeah, there you go. He gets 1 kill at least, but the bomb all the way over towards ramp already, trying to make its way onto the site. Surreal still in position, should be able to shut this one down. And yeah, just, I don't know, it was a questionable decision. They get the bomb plant at least, which is a bit of extra money to work with, but I don't know, it was just strange to split up in that situation. It would have been probably ideal to send that 1 player up through connector to try and actually assist towards A. The command is still casters, even though there's only 1 of me. Because I'm so good on plural. But yeah, currently a tactical, not tactical, I meant to say technical pause coming in for the Epsilon side. Apparently they're having loss. They have 20% loss, so they just want to fix that before they get back into it. And also, eBot is being fixed because it was having a bit of a seizure. I thought the score was 15-14 in favor of Epsilon for some reason. So let's see. That should be fixed now before we get back into this. Can you do a hype round? I can try. I can do hype. It's just still early in the morning. This is my first matchup, and apologies. I'm trying. It's awkward while solo casting because I have to pay attention to so much stuff. Usually I'd be casting with someone else, but my co-caster, Hawkett, I think he's in college at the moment, so he's not committed. He's not committed. That's what it is. That's what the problem is. He's not committed like I am. Early in the morning. It's 1 o'clock. It's early for me. It's early for me because what time is it? I woke up at 11:30, and yeah. I had a nice little sleep in because I've casted I think the last 7 days in a row, 6 or 7 days in a row, and a lot of those have been like 9 to 10 hour days. So when I can, I take myself a nice little sleep. It's needed. Nah, Hawk is very committed. He just has to, I think he's in college. I'm not sure what he's doing, but he had something to do anyway. We need more Irish casters. We actually do have another Irish caster, Dinko. You can check him out as well. Dinko TV, I think, on Twitter. He's actually from Northern Ireland. He's from Belfast, so you get a bit of a different accent as well. So, yeah. Do I gamble? No, I do not. That never goes well for me. But if you want to gamble, go to gg.bet. It is the best website for betting on online esports. And let's get this into a bit of a hype round now. This is going to be a crucial one for Epsilon to pick up if they want to go ahead and get themselves up to map point. But similarly for Qualifier, they don't really have the economy to work with currently. If they lose this round, they are going to be forced only onto pistols and maybe a bit of utility to back it up. So right now, 14-14. This is probably the most important round we've seen so far in this game. And let's see how it's going to work out. You can see the T side right now grouping up back towards T-spawn. The bomb left in this position as well. And it looks like they're going to favour over towards this A bomb site. And let's see how successfully this is going to go. Because so far Epsilon have been doing a pretty good job of shutting this one down. But this time, we do actually see a bit of a more standard setup coming in. They don't have 3 players on the side of the map. Instead, a boost coming in over towards B from Smooya, which likely won't really be given a chance to actually pay any dividends. And let's go now. It will indeed be coming out towards this A-bomb, so we'll go ahead and take up the pace as well. We make this a bit of a faster cast as well as hype. Then look at this, Qualifier looking to try and go aggressive into the CT spawn. Boomich pushing forward with the UMP. Robin, he doesn't quite deny the bomb plant, but he will be able to find that kill to allow Epsilon to have a one-man advantage now coming into this retake. And we can see the T's because of that. They continue to go aggressive. 3 players in towards the CT spawn. Waterfalls with the AWP looking to try and play the lurk, and as it is planted for short, he's in a great position. And let's see how this works out. Jack, though, he finds one. Surreal going to be able to shut down quick as well. And let's make this quick indeed now, as all the kills are going in favour of Epsilon, all down to Waterfalls. And he's going to be left alone in a 1-on-4. The position has been smoked off. He has to hope he has this position lined up correctly, but it's not going to work out. And Epsilon get themselves up to map point. And he even dies, so it's not going to be a big deal that he dies after time because of the bomb already being planted, but it is a big deal in the sense that now he doesn't have an op to work with. So map point for Epsilon, a weaker buy going to be coming out for the Russian side. Qualifier not looking great. They tried to call a pause, but it didn't press it in time, I don't believe. And right now, Galil's, UMPs and a CZ to try and actually force this to overtime for Qualifier. Let's see if they're going to be able to actually pull it off, because Epsilon right now, they've stepped it up on the CT side, finally been able to pick themselves up 3 rounds in a row. Not perfect, so we could still perhaps see Qualifier stepping it up once again on the T side, but they have to start it off with a much weaker buy. And let's see if they're going to be able to actually do it, because right now they get control towards mid, 3 players in this position, 2 players in the B apartments, and it's looking like we might be seeing a split over towards B, where currently there is 3 players in position. Smooya on this boost similar to the previous round, and let's see if he finds the kill. He spots out 1 player at least. Jenko going to be able to open it up over towards short, and now Smooya, he repositions, and he's trying to get these shots, but he's not going to be able to connect them so far, but it doesn't matter. Chak is there, he finds the hat-trick, and this should be the first map in favour of Epsilon. It's all on the Boomich to try and save it. 1-on-3, low HP, and a P250 is going to take him down. Smooya, he's going to be successful in winning out that the 1 versus 1 on the bomb site. Of course, he had teammates to assist, but Epsilon now 16-14 as they take the first map to lead 1-0 in this series. And don't go too far, guys. We will be returning quite soon, but first, we are going to send it back to the studio to the beautiful analysts.
Welcome back to the Ifrag studio. The first match between Qualifier and Epsilon is finished. Epsilon won 16-14. Guys, what do you think about the match? It was back and forth up until the very end.
Well, many mistakes from both sides, but I would say a bit more from QBF. It was really tough first half for both teams. It was 8-7, if I'm not mistaken, for QBF. They managed to win that first half, and they definitely needed to win pistol round in the second half in order to maybe get more chances to win on the map, which wasn't their pick. And Epsilon managed to take that pistol round. And I would like to mention that post-plan situations for QBF were really poor, especially in the round before the last one, when we've seen Smooya and I think Zek boosting each other on bomb site B, watching for apps, and their teammates definitely gave them information that QBF is doing an execution for A site, and they were still standing upon each other watching for something. And as soon as the bomb got planted, they started rotating, and I think it was 3 or 4 guys from Epsilon rotating from city side to that ticket And QBF players, I think 2 of them pushed to city and get shot down immediately, and that's the perfect rotation from Epsilon, and they managed to take that round, which QBF shouldn't have never lost. And basically, we've seen that frustration can come in place. We've seen Quick. One round he went to jungle and he did a full spray with AK while moving into the guy with with AVP. It was Smoya, and he got taken down. I think it was maybe no scope. So
like a full tilt play.
Yeah, the full tilt. So definitely an interesting game from what I've seen. But both teams did some really crucial mistakes, especially that winning the pistol round, then buying AKs and Galils, then losing that round against pistols. Then the other team has guns, and they lost against pistols, so that's quite disappointing.
It was 14-12 QBF leading.
In 1 point, yeah.
Yeah, and then they lost Mad. What do you think? How did they throw? What happened there?
Especially that round that Danny mentioned, they heard waterfalls in B apps with an AVP, and they just stood there, both. I think logical opinion was that one guy moved to A site to help his teammates, which already gone out from A site and gave up on that A site. They gave up the plant. QBF was in it. They all rotated to CT. Maybe one guy was jungle or something, but 2 or 3 guys were CT, still standing, boosting each other to see who's gonna rush in from A site to CT. They catch off guard two players, and they still come running into the city. That Qualifier post plant was awful, just pure awful.
So you think that was the crucial mistake that eventually
they lost that round? They never should have lost.
Okay,
well, I mean, they had some post plant situations even before they managed to lose somehow. So that's why I'm over generating their post plant situation.
But I mean, this was still the pick for Epsilon, and they barely won it, 16-14. The next game is going to be Inferno. That's QBF's pick, and we are going to go to that after a short commercial break. So stay with us, and we will be back shortly.
Gold red in his gold red in his freezing gold red in gold red in gold red in gold red gold red in gold red in his freezing outside.
It was like.
Place your bets at gg.bet. Most popular esports titles. Deposit with convenient payment options. Cool mini games. And 24/7 support for players. Sign up now for the best esports bets at gg.bet. Place your bets at gg.bet. Most popular esports titles. Deposit with convenient payment options. Cool mini games. And 24/7 support for players. Sign up now for the best esports bets at gg.bet.
Welcome back to the Ifrag studio. We are watching a match between Qualifier and Epsilon. Currently it's 1-0 lead for Epsilon. This is an elimination match in the loser bracket. So the next map is Inferno. This was the Qualifier pick. Danny, what do you think about the next map? Does Qualifier has a chance to take it to a decider map?
They definitely, they have. It's their pick. They played. I mean, I don't want to mention those mistakes once again on Mirage, but they played a decent game, even though they had a lead 14-12, and they just needed 2 more rounds to win on Mirage. I definitely lean towards QBF on this one. It's their pick. They are playing as a team for a while Epsilon is having a new player who is filling the spot from Cosmin. And even though I still think that Cosmin suits Epsilon much more than the new player of his name is Janko. I mean, he had a decent performance on Mirage, but I would like to mention Surreal. He at one point had 10 kills in almost 30 rounds. So I think he finished the game with 11 or 12 kills. It's still an underwhelming performance by him because I know he can do much more with rifles, with being an entry fragger, especially if I remember him from IEM Katowice qualifiers, but almost 2 months passed since then. So I definitely lean towards QBF just because how they played as a team, even though they had mistakes here and there. But Epsilon also had mistakes here and there, so I still expect QBF to win.
So, Matt, they had a lead of 14-12, then they lost. How do that impact the next match? Is it harder for them to play? Can they just shove it off and play the next map as if that didn't happen?
I think the point of that, losing the first map, you lose the game state of mind, I'm sorry. When you lose like 16-6 or 7, when you don't know what to do in that first map, when you don't know how to win the round. But this was close. It was one mistake on the end which caused them to lose the match. I think it's more tilting than it's what should we do.
Yeah, I understand, but I mean, we saw that full spray, as you said, a full tilt play. So do you think we're gonna see more of that because they lost in that way, or do you think that they can calm down and actually play properly?
Yeah,
without that
I think that they will be better on this map because it's their pick. They know the map, they practice it a lot, they played it a lot as well. But as we know, Epsilon has like 160, 170 games on Mirage, which is
a lot.
Yeah.
More than a lot, yeah. And QBFR has like 100 games on Inferno as well, but we can see a close game as well. If Smuya finds picks on mid, picks from Banana, if they control that mid very well on the start, or the start of city side, I don't know which one team.
I don't know, if they're gonna play a knife or...
Yeah, they're gonna play a knife round,
yeah,
so
okay.
we don't know right now.
The point is controlling that Banana, because if you lose Banana, they can execute the B side, they can smoke off Church, they can smoke off CT, Molly to the new boxes, and you just have to worry about 2 or 3 spots on the site, which is a little. You need to worry as well on that boost from CT, because it's a very impactful thing to do. They know to come behind the smoke, boost one, and get an entry, just back off.
Okay.
And I think we'll see a close game as well.
Yeah, I definitely think Banana is the most crucial part of the map. If you have control of that Banana, you can do pretty much all the things you want, and especially apartments are really crucial part of the map, especially for execute towards A site. looking at both teams, how they performed on Mirage, I would say that if Epsilon wins the ninth round, they shall definitely go for T-side, just to dictate the tempo. Because I think QBF played a lot together on Inferno, and they're mostly going for that CT side. Because I think the QBF on CT side is much stronger than on T side from what we've seen, even though it's not worth mentioning those mistakes on Mirage. But definitely, I think it's going to be really hard for Epsilon, because Surreal really needs to step up. Robin and Smuya played such a wonderful game. But on the other hand, Quick shouldn't be thinking about Mirage, and he should not perform like he did. I'm talking about that spray. But QBF as a whole, even though they were losing 14-12, they should just forget what happened on Mirage and focus on Inferno, because if you lose confidence, you're definitely not going to win.
You just have to drop the last game, drop all the mistakes you made, forget about it, and just play the map like it's the first.
Play as if nothing happened before.
Excellent.
Well, yeah, if they lose this map, they're out.
They're out of the tournament.
Yeah.
So you were talking about Smoya, that he's the man to look out in the first map, and now Banana is the most important place. It's the best place for Oppers. So do you think Smoya is gonna be like the man to watch again?
Yeah, I really do think, because Smuya is most of the time top fragging for his team, and what he did with top, it's just priceless.
Okay, so our players are ready, the game is starting, and we are going into the game right now. Din, take it away.
Hello guys, it is me once again, but this time I actually do have a returning caster to help me out. It is Hawkim. It is the duo that usually takes you through the action. He will be back for the rest of this best of 3 at least. He decided that he could blow off college for a couple of hours.
Yeah, well, no, luckily my class got cancelled. Boom. And I really wanted to cast this series, so I'm glad it did, because it looks like it could be close considering that first map.
Indeed, it could be, but I don't know how amazing the CS played on that first map was. I think it was kind of down to both teams making a lot of mistakes, and in the end, Epsilon just about managed to come out on top. So, but it was an interesting game to watch, to say the least. 16-14, of course, they're always going to be fun. Always going to be some nice shots, etc., being hit, some nice approaches into rounds. But now, let's see how this one goes. QB4 coming into their own map pick. How do you think this one's going to go?
I mean, the first map was very close. I think we saw as you said, we saw both teams kind of struggle. I think heading into their own map pick, though, they should be good. I mean, I didn't get the most chance to, actually research both teams before this, because I wasn't expecting to cast it, so kind of hard to know, but we'll see as we get underway.
Indeed we will. It should be a good one. QB4, they're a pretty solid Inferno team, so I'll be looking forward to seeing how this one goes. As right now, Epsilon, Robin getting himself some utility, and Smuya finding that opening kill on towards Banana. A great flash comes in, Waterfalls gets caught off guard. So 3 more players already on this B side of the map now are going to be in positions to at least try and hold this down. And then smoke being placed could actually block them all off in towards CT spawn. But as we say, that jump crosses towards the bomb site. And Epsilon actually looking to just try and back off now. We're going to be able to find Boomich pushing down mid, and this is awkward. He spots out so many players, and he needs to try and run away. That's going to allow for Epsilon to just walk straight onto the A bomb site. Ooh, nice dink. Round gone heavily in favour of Epsilon right now. Not really too much success being found for QB4, and they're going to really be able to pull this one off. They do find one kill. Jumpkey gets a single before it's being taken down by Chak. And Chris actually able to find a quick headshot onto Chak as well, back onto Chak rather, so doable now. Problem is, Velina is just so low on HP. If he gets taken down, the kit's dropped. Perhaps Quick could retrieve it, but 3 players to try and take down is very unlikely. And there you have it. It is going to be closed out. So Epsilon, they start off this game very well once again by picking up the pistol.
Yeah, my CSGO decided to crash, so that's always nice, but we're loading back in now. I watched it back on the stream, though, and yeah, pretty well played by Epsilon. Nice little fake-up Banana, goes back towards the A play, and overall, just a decent round coming in from them. Jenko, in particular, I think, is a player to watch out for, because he has actually been in pretty good form in the last few days, and we head into this second round, where QBFire just have the upgraded pistols. Jimka picking up the 5-7. We don't see that too often with the power of the CZ. A couple of players going to be sitting towards B for QBFire, but no real action early on. That being said, QBFire are pushed into apartments, so if Epsilon straight into that position, they could be in danger, and it looks as though Surreal is going to do so.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be a little bit awkward. He doesn't want to give the opportunity for a weapon to be retrieved. That is an AK as well that Surreal has, so that would be absolutely horrible if he gave that over to one of the CTs. Me as well on mid is very solo, so it looks like he's going to back off. He's going to look to try and join up with his teammate, and the opening kill will actually come in for Surreal there. He does a great job. Velina still up close though with the CZ. He walks straight in, and Surreal just continuing to spam that wall. Doesn't work out. Bit more damage being found, and an AK is retrieved now. And it's 4-on-4, and ooh, awkward spray from Velina. Didn't realize there was so few bullets in the rifle. And as he tries to fall back, Jenko will shut him down. So Epsilon, they reclaim themselves the man advantage. They should be able to pick that AK back up. And Robin able to find a quick kill onto Jump Kit as well. Means that this round now should go in favour of the UK side. And there we go. Robin just building up bank.
Yeah, solid double comes in with that MAC-10. The round already effectively won. And Epsilon will be able to take the early lead here on Inferno. As I was saying, though, I think Jenko certainly has been in pretty good form recently, even though he's that more recent addition. We've seen in the UK Prem, they've been playing pretty well with him. Obviously, it's only against UK players, but not the best competition. But they were having fun with it.
Wind and Rain are pretty good.
Yeah,
They're pretty decent.
I think the only really good team with them in Group A so far has been Endpoint, so they've only had to play them really.
Who plays for Endpoint now? Because I cannot follow UKCS teams.
Aaron, Weber, Luzer, Pulse, and someone else that I can't remember.
A lot of the older players.
Yeah.
Right now, though, it is just going to be a full eco coming in from Qualifier, so I don't really think we'll see too much being done. If I was to bet on who'd take this round now, I'd bet on Epsilon, and if I was deciding to bet on any games at all, I would head on over to gg.bet, so make sure you guys do so if you do enjoy gambling. Personally, I don't, because I want to be able to afford my food, and I don't have any luck. Luck of the Irish is not something that works out for me, so let's focus back on the game now. Just USPs and a P2000, and an opening kill being found by Smooya.
Ooh, there's another one, this time for Surreal, onto his AK, as he spots out the boost. Smooya is going to go through that smoke, which is a little aggressive, but he's not going to be punished because Kvik has fallen back to the site, and Kvik is about to get completely overwhelmed. He managed to get the dink there, but with just the USP, it doesn't lead to anything. So, unfortunately for Qualifier, they will concede this round without really doing any damage, unless Jimka can get something done, which doesn't seem likely. Bomb will go down momentarily, and there's nothing really to be done at this point. It's just going to play itself out. Jimka might be able to spot out Jenko, who is making a lot of noise. Actually, Jimka sneaks past Jenko, so they probably won't expect him to be here, but even then, I don't think he's going to get much done.
Yeah. But with the MAC-10s, though, they were looking to try and hunt this down, and they actually just walked straight past them, so that's a bit awkward. He creeps onto the site, but he wouldn't have really had any time to do anything anyway without a defuse kiss, so he gets taken down by Jack. Perfect round comes in by Epsilon, they don't lose a single player. And now Qualifier, they do get the buyout. They're going to be able to get the op straight on the waterfalls, even if it is glass cannon. They get the rifles, and they get a bit of utility. This isn't perfect, though. They have 4 smokes and 1 Molotov, and an Inferno where there's so many choke points to try and hold off. This isn't going to be amazing, so let's see what they can do. And also these MAC-10s still coming into play with head armor being only onto a single player. This is going to be an awkward round. Epsilon is going fast straight up through Banana. Smooya aggressive up through the mid-smoke to try and wrap in through CT spawn. And this is looking like it's going to actually work out. No one in a position to try and stop him from doing so. Quick, though. He just started off strong over on the B bomb site to take down 1 before Jenko returns it with a MAC-10. He should have an upgrade to a rifle now. Smooya, did they know he's in this position? He lets them pass and he gets both. Great work. UKCS comes into play perfectly. Now Quick and Boomich are the last 2 standing, and it's going to be reduced even further.
Ooh, Boomich. Yeah, gets 2 back very quickly. He's got 8 bullets in the clip, so probably can't get both of these kills without reloading. And that could certainly come into play, considering he doesn't have the kit. But more importantly, Smooya, already rotating back around, was hungry for even more. Even though he'd already pretty much won the round for the team, he gets the 4K at the end. And Smooya has been a little bit sort of lacking in terms of his performance in some of the recent games, and I only say that because we expect him to be such a star player for the team. He's still been okay recently, but not been on the level we expect from him, so good to see him step up for Epsilon. And Qualifier again falls back down to pistols. They are running the risk now of really falling behind on their map pick, especially considering it's the CT side. It can be difficult to get that money together. Push comes in. Jenko should get this frag. Just about gets it through, surviving on 3 HP. Waterfall is going to try and push for the trade, but won't be able to. And it looks as though Epsilon will just hold that man advantage. Actually, it's extended further because Waterfall's peeked in towards mid.
Indeed, 2 players fall already for Qualifier. Quick down to low as well, so this round... What? Never mind. Okay, we'll just keep going. We'll forget that happened. And right now, it's 3-on-2. So Jump getting Quick, looking to try and save it. Robin is in a great position to cut off the rotate, and he takes down one player. So Quick is the last man standing with only 22 points of HP. I think the server's lagging a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, no, it's just all of Epsilon lagging. Well, their pings are going up. I don't know.
Okay.
But
their pings are kind of spiking.
Fine. I assume they're not all on the same connection, Epsilon. But I
Well,
don't know.
Boomich's connection isn't fine. He's on 100 ping. The rest of the team, the rest of the QB Fire team are on 30, while Epsilon have all spiked up to about 60 or 70. 60 on the scoreboard, but it would be 70 because it's not showing the full one. You'd have to look at your net graph to find out the exact ping.
Yeah, the scoreboard lies to you every day.
Yeah, it's usually about 10 in the difference, I'd say. Ooh, okay. I think don't think those players could run away from the bomb because they were lagging. That is good thing they have a great economy, but that's a bit of a that's a tilt right there.
The pings look a bit more stable now, so hopefully they will be good. Smee is saying in the chat that they literally timed out for 8 seconds, so that doesn't sound great. But either way,
only Boomich timed out apparently for QB Fire, so I don't know. Is that
weird?
That sounds like it's a server issue, but the fact that only that 5 Epsilon players and only 1 player in QB Fire got it just sounds so strange.
Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've got the buy coming in from QB Fire. It looks like Epsilon have called for the unpause here, so I think the connection issue should be sorted at least for now. Hopefully, it's not just an issue that happens when the game is live, because that would be a little bit awkward. But we have already got Smuya and Jenko towards the top of the scoreboard for Epsilon. Smuya up there with 9 kills. Jenko 6 frags yet to fall as well on towards him. So heading into round number 6, we will see QB Fire with these double AWPs try to get it going. Waterfalls in particular hasn't got a frag so far, but now he has the AWP, he has the chance, but gets flashed off the angle early, so no opening this time.
Yeah. Let's see how this double up works out for the CT side. 3 players getting aggressive on Banana. Nice little boost from Robin. He's able to find one. Doesn't quite get the second, but actually it hasn't been returned yet, interestingly enough. Oh, this nade could be perfect. Jump get. Oh, he doesn't escape. He gets taken down. Kobe! And it's a headshot from Waterfall. So we're back into a 4-on-3 now, but Epsilon still favoured.
Yeah, those 2 AWPs don't really get into play before the opening picks come in for Epsilon over towards Banana, and now we have a position where Kvik and Waterfalls will have to land a couple more shots. In particular, Kvik is going to have to try and hold B. That being said, Waterfalls is already rotating over, so it looks like both AWPs will be positioned over towards the B bomb site, and they will be ready to try and stop this push. The smoke should come in towards CT, and that will likely deny Waterfalls being able to get too much done. And here we go. Flash comes in. Waterfalls is smoked off, so he has to fall back. No scope not going to connect either, so it's up to Kvik now, but I think he's also been smoked off. Indeed, he has. Oh! Well, never mind. The AWPs are doing the damage. I think Kvik pushed through the smoke for a kill of his own. Robin tries to go aggressive, but he's so low on health that he is going to be sidelined. And now Jenko, left in a 1v3, will be spotted out. And that is a big round for QB Fire to win. They even get to save those 2 AWPs as well.
Yeah, it's just that shot there through the coffin was great. Through the smoke, through the coffin. I believe Quick also, as you said, did push through the smoke and find one as well. So they made plays and it worked out perfectly. Now we can see the first gun round finally comes out for the QB Fire side. But Epsilon, they still have economy to work with, so they're in a position right now where if they take this, and they will reset the economy. But there you have it. Opening kill once again comes in by Waterfalls. Smuya is dropped, and let's see if they decide to pick up that up. It's not really needed on the T side of Inferno, but it looks like Surreal wants to get it out of their way. So, is a player that's very capable with this weapon. He was up and on the complexity lineup, but he was mainly known for his op skills when he was in the UK scene. So, you can't really judge it too much. Let's see though. Let's see what happens now. 4-on-5, and Epsilon, they are still playing quite passive. They don't really have much map control to work with, which is the main problem.
Yeah, Surreal decides to pick up the AWP now after Smuya went down early on. We are going to see QB Fire rotate towards A thanks to the banana presence they have. So this is going to be a 4-man stack. Won't be easy for Epsilon to overcome this as they go probing in towards top mid. They certainly haven't decided on this push yet, though. They're going to go back towards Banana. Vic is the man here on the hold, but the AWP got flashed off the angle, so Vic has to fall back. Oh, he did actually get the wallbang through there. That did connect, and there is the opening kill. As the smoke comes in, though, Vic might have to give up the site, but there's a gap in the smoke. That could be exploited. The AWPs are looking to lock it down, but the bomb has already crossed to the site, so that will be planted. In the meantime, Surreal only getting the 1 kill so far for Epsilon. And that leaves him and T-Sac in a 2-on-4.
Yeah, Surreal though. Nice angle. Oh, he gets that opening kill onto Boomich indeed. So into a 2-on-3. This is definitely winnable right now. The time's slowly ticking away, but there is bits of utility remaining. There is the defuse kits. And it's going to be down to Chak and Surreal hitting some nice shots. Molotov in towards Dark. Chak should be forced out into the open. But somehow, for the moment at least, he's not actually losing any HP. Surreal doesn't connect the shot on the cross though. Oh, there we go. Nice flick comes in. And now it's all down to Waterfall. Surreal. There's the bomb being tapped. Will he go for the peak? But he wins it. There we go. Surreal steps it up massively to find the quad kill. And retrieving that off the body of Smooya apparently works out perfectly as Epsilon instantly come in with a reset onto the economy of Qualifier. And you can see they're not going to have enough to buy into this one.
Yeah, even though Surreal made the difference, the AWP does go back over to Smooya, which I think is fair enough. I mean, Surreal could have kept it if he wanted to make that call, but I don't think he's the kind of player that would sort of make that call there when Smooya is sitting there waiting for the AWP. In the meantime, Qualifier go for the 3 banana stack early on, but they're not going to be able to push banana thanks to the molly that came in. So they're going to have to fall back and play from the site. We did point out they have pretty weak weapons in this round, at least in terms of how much they cost, but the CZs certainly can do damage. And they are trying to hold up close right now. Over towards B, over towards A. They're trying to play the close range angles as you would expect. Epsilon, though, also have quite a few nades left, so as long as those flashes and mollies are on point, they should be able to clear out most of these positions without having too much trouble. But if Qualifier lose this round, they're at real risk. So a lot of pressure on them here as Smooya nearly gets the timing right, but still no real damage done.
Yeah, and right now it looks like Epsilon are just going to group up over towards Banana. The bomb making its way back towards this position. They had Jenko over in the apartments, but he's beginning to back off too. And this seems to be the correct decision right now. There's 2 players on B, but they're both playing in from CT spawn. As I said that though, Quick will make his way back onto the bomb site, and I believe Jump Kit is boosted up, so this can be a pretty valuable spot. It can be pretty viable, but the question is, do Epsilon check this one, because it is also very, very common. As now the X2 comes in, nice little Molotov towards the back of quad, 1 in towards second orange as well to try and clear out these positions, and Jump Kit gets 1 and a second as he backs off. Great work to just spam through the smoke there, take himself another, and now it's a 3-on-5. This force play looking to maybe work out for the CT side, but they push through the smoke, they line up, but it doesn't matter. All the kills go in favour of Qualifier. Jump Kit steps it up. And it is going to be the Russian side pulling themselves off a second round there with a very weak investment.
Yeah, really well played by Jimka there to get 4 kills in the end. Those initial 2 frags were well played just to be able to get the first kill, fall off, and spray through the smoke. But then, as he came back in for the retake, pushing through with his teammates, he managed to get the quick headshots out as well. So, huge round from Jimka at a huge time as well, because that means that Epsilon are the ones that now are forced back to a lower buy. I was going to say they could maybe afford a force here. They would have got a couple of rifles out, but they decide they can just go for the 1 save and make sure they get as good a buy as possible into the next round. Their losing bonus isn't that well built up though, but here we go. Jenko already gets the opening kill. Jimka didn't expect him to be so far pushed up. And that means the Deeg on the edge of that wall gets the headshot through, and now Smooya has an AWP. That could be dangerous. In the meantime, Robin trying to go for some solo aggression elsewhere, but there's only 1 CT towards B. If Smooya were to get this kill, this round would be in their favour for sure.
Nice shot by Jack though. Does actually get a quick one there indeed. Now on the B-bomb site, it is going to be under attack, and Smooya with the op as well, able to take down Valina in towards the CT spawn. So somehow Epsilon actually getting themselves into a favourable position, and you can see Qualifier, they don't want anything to do with this. They've already decided to save. And that means Epsilon now are going to be taking themselves this round and getting up to 7. You can see Qualifier, their economy isn't really great. Even with saving these weapons, they aren't really going to be able to get a full buyout into this following round. Maybe one rifle can be dropped, but that's likely going to be it.
Yeah, we saw Qualifier there take a risk in terms of not rotating a player over towards B after they lost that opening. and they knew that they'd given the AWP over to Epsilon as well, so they must have been aware that was a possibility, that quick B push coming in. And yet they don't go for the rotation. I guess they didn't want to leave A vulnerable, so that means that Epsilon are able to win back at them. We've now had in the last 4 rounds, it's just continually gone back and forth. Neither side able to win consistent rounds in a row. And that trend could continue here because Qualifier still have quite a strong buy. Into the hands of Waterfalls. He is again towards mid, and a similar 3B stack comes into play. After the last round, where they only had 2 towards B and they lost the site pretty quickly, they make sure they have 3B at the start of this round at least. And I think the aggression could be coming in here. Jimko was looking to go for it. The deep smoke has been deployed. TSAC currently is a little bit isolated in towards this position. In fact, Jimka might be able to take him down. Flash comes in and Jimka sprays them both. Good reactions to turn away from the flash, and those 2 kills already coming through give Qualifier a great chance.
Yeah, and Smoothie, he connects the shot, but it's not going to be enough for the kill. Similar over on A long there, Surreal brings Waterfalls down to 46, but for now, at least Qualifier, they retain themselves this 2-man advantage, and Epsilon, a minute remaining. They do have control of brackets, but where are they going to actually decide to go with this one? Looking likely that they will just try and commit towards A, which is kind of forced at this point because they didn't have any control towards Banana. They knew those players pushed in aggressively, and look at this position from Jenko. Works out perfectly. Headshot onto Waterfalls. And now up on the balcony, it's going to be up to Valina to actually try and hold this down, and he has an MP9. It's not amazing. Boomich in position to try and support. But for now, at least the kills are still going in favour of Epsilon. Boomich has been spotted as well, but he lines them up, gets one. With another in towards the pit, I believe. But Jenko and Smoothie now looking to try and clutch this one out as Jumka comes in fast on the flank. Gets himself up to a 3rd, and the quad kill looking quite possible as Smoothie now trapped on the bomb site in a 1-on-3. He actually does find 1 more kill at least, but unlikely he can win this one. Yeah, the timing doesn't work out. Jumka gets himself a quad kill once again.
2 AWPs saved again for Qualifier. They're really trying to get this double AWP setup rolling. We have seen them a couple of times be picked off though, so they will have to be a little bit careful of that, making sure that doesn't come through again. We're going to see Jimka pick up that 2nd AWP. It's been switched between Kvik and Jimka a little bit, but Jimka will go towards B with that early into the round. Trying the wallbang, but not going to connect too much. Epsilon, though, are really going towards Banana. Now they're going to work their way up. And with the smoke being deployed, I don't think we're going to see too much action there. Both teams are fairly far away from each other. So Qualifier just concede Banana control over to the Epsilon side. In the meantime, the push is also coming in towards apartments. So Epsilon just spread out, try and gain at least some ground towards both sites. And now the bomb is already working up Banana. There is still a 3B stack here. So if they commit to this push, it would be worrisome. Just as I say that, though, Boomich is going to go back towards A, and Epsilon might do the same. They are rotating back towards mid. Maybe this is because Jenko's already in towards apartments. They're going to try and line up this A play, but Boomich is here in time to try and hold them off. The bomb, though, still very far away.
Yeah, it was actually just dropped by Chak back towards the ramp, so I don't know what they're planning on here. Will they bring it back towards B maybe? They have a player over towards long. They have a couple players who were originally in towards mid backing off, and Surreal finds that opening kill onto Boomich and does actually retrieve himself a weapon. Sees at long range, gets the dink, but it's not going to be enough for the kill. But that's a nice little bit of damage at least being found for Surreal. But now the op has the cross, and it is going to be able to shut this one down with 1 kill. Belina steps up as well. And now Chak and Smoothie to try and clutch out this 2-on-3. Bomb should be planted quite easily. Let's see if they can actually get themselves into some good positions now to try and actually play this after plant from. So yeah, those players in towards library. Ooh, a bit of a misplay perhaps by Waterfalls. Goes to try and throw in a flash, he gets taken down. But now it's all onto Smoothie. Quick returns it, and it is going to be a 1-on-2. He's on the bomb site, has the op. Both players are going to be coming in from short. They peek it together. And now he's trapped in towards the back of the bomb site. And this is just so awkward for Smoothie, and not really anything that he can actually do. And there you have a Qualifier, get themselves up to 4.
Yeah, as soon as Smoothie misses the first shot, the round is pretty much over and done with. He's stuck in the corner. They can just hunt him down. But again, it's Qualifier just about keeping those double AWPs alive. They consistently seem to be winning rounds with 2 players, so they get to save those 2 AWPs. And it's Epsilon's turn again to be down in the dumps. They only have pistols to play with. Looks like Jimka is now being a little bit more consistently that secondary AWPer for Qualifier rather than Kvik, but look at the rush from Epsilon, straight through that Molotov. The smoke did come in. Oh, the incendiary blocked by a teammate, but Kvik still gets the spray through. Epsilon are going to commit to the B play, but Waterfalls is here alongside Kvik, and Kvik with a very quick 4K. Fair play to him. He managed to get all those kills in rapid succession. It was only against the pistols, but still very well executed. And now it is Epsilon's turn to get a buyback, but they are missing that AWP.
Yeah, let's see how that's going to affect them. It is a map that you don't really need the up on the T side, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. You can still definitely make these rifles work. So let's see the approach now to this round for Epsilon. 3 players early on towards Banana, looking to try and get some control. 2 players right now for QB Fire are actually trying to contest this one, and that's pretty nice now. Their damage being done onto Robin. Molotov goes in as well. And right now Epsilon, they have been held back from Banana.
Ooh, Kvik gets the opening kill again, down to 4 HP, but he manages to get the advantage for his team. They're looking to lock this down, but Jumka is going to be forced to fall back after missing that shot. And they switch things up. Kvik is going to pick up the AWP because he only had 4 HP. Because of that, he's also going to go pretty passively. Looks as though Epsilon are just going to group up for the Banana play now. They've already been spotted out towards Banana previously. So QB Fire should be aware this is going to come through, but that being said, Kvik has already found the first. Jenko going to try and see if he can find an entry. Does get one, as does Surreal. So they open up the B site despite losing the opening pick. Now it's back to a 3v3 retake.
Yeah, UKCS steps it up there on the entrance and towards the bomb site. And now this 3v3 retake, as you mentioned, it is going to be quite difficult. The main thing I can look towards for the CT side is how many Molotovs they have. They have 3. They have 1 smoke that perhaps can be put in towards Banana to block off 1 player as well. So they definitely have the utility to use. Let's see if they put it in towards the correct positions. And let's see how Epsilon are going to actually fare in trying to hold this one down. First Molotov in towards Quad. Burns Chak down to a very low HP and eventually actually burns them alive. And all the kills right now are just going in favour of QB Fire. It's all onto Jenko, and he's not going to be able to find anything as Waterfalls goes ahead and closes that one out. They should have the defuse. Oh, Molotov's a bit awkward. Okay, that was close. But yeah, it will be the defuse coming in quite easily.
There we go, comes through again. So QB Fire finally starting to work their way back into their own map pick. That slow start, though, has costed them in terms of the fact that this could have been a much different CT side if they didn't get to that 5-0 deficit early on, because they have been looking really good in these recent gun rounds, but it's Epsilon that managed to get that strong start. So whatever happens, Epsilon have already got a reasonable amount of rounds for their T side. They would like, what? Okay, Robin, that's just ridiculous. I mean, that's just...
I almost spit my tea out right there. I was drinking tea, I'm not gonna lie.
Wow. Waterfalls is tilted right now. I'd be tilted at least.
Yeah, that was a great shot, you have to say the least, Robin. Great work, opening kill in favour of Epsilon. Let's see if they can actually capitalise on that one, because it was a great shot to start it off. Now they have to actually try and get onto a bomb site. They have to get the bomb down, and they're kind of leaving it behind, which is a bit of a problem. Are they committing towards A right here? I think they are. Yeah, Shaq realises and goes back for the bomb. Luckily enough, the entries are still going to go in favour of Epsilon, so it shouldn't really be a big deal. He should be able to just easily get this over towards the bomb site. So Epsilon right now on a 4-on-2. Jump cut out, hoping to maybe try and cut off some players, but it's not really going to work out. He's making his way in through mid. Quick coming from Library. As right now Epsilon, they should be able to claim themselves this round quite easily, but Jump Kit and Quick should be gone for this. There's only 1 more round coming up in this half, and they have plenty of economy to work with for that one, so they'll still have the full investment. But it's not really working out now as Robin gets himself another headshot into this round. So Quick in a 1-on-4. Not really too much you can do in this situation. May just want to save either way.
Yeah, nothing for Kvik to do, except for hear the steps of Jenko and probably take him down. There we go, kill comes in. Good to see Kvik not getting baited in by the AK. Wouldn't really be worth upgrading that. He's probably better off just saving at this point, because Boomich does kind of need Kvik to save so that he can get a drop towards him for this last round. His money would have been alright anyway. He's got 3.9k, and you can see Kvik looking to hunt them down here. The push coming in. I was going to say, that was very aggressive from Kvik, but there wasn't enough time. So in the end, it is going to be a bye for both teams, of course, into this last round. I don't think we'll see too many weaknesses in either buy. No, it looks like both teams have got the one AWP. They've got pretty much the full nades. So we'll get to see into the last round of the half who can come out on top in one last gun round for this CT side of Qualifier. Push coming in towards Banana. Smooya forced back though, so this deep smoke has worked well for Qualifier to gain ground there. Vic is going to stay posted up on that angle, whereas Jimka plays back from the site. They should be playing together. Now they will do, but the Banana play is not going to be that important because Epsilon are already positioning themselves outside A.
Yeah, and Epsilon right now. Let's see if they're going to be able to get themselves up to 9, or Qualifier will pull this back and get themselves a 7th round. Either way, Epsilon, they've won it out on this T side of Inferno, so this has been an impressive performance so far. Once again, though, they started off well, and then Qualifier have been able to stabilize themselves, similar to what we've seen on Mirage. But let's see what way it goes now. Very passive setup over towards B, as well as on the A-bomb site. No one really trying to challenge. They've given up all this map control for free, a lot for Epsilon to work with. And it looks like they are going to go ahead and just execute onto this A-bomb site now on the back of this one. Robin, he leads the way. Molotovs go in. He still finds that opening headshot, but the crossfire is in place, so he will be traded back out by Boomich. But now he's all alone on the bomb site as he loses another teammate. Jenko gets aggressive with the flash, but he only finds a single kill. So man advantage is still going to be retained for Epsilon. That's increased even further as Quick gets caught off guard, pushing in through that arch. So Surreal, he's in a great position now towards Library, and it's all onto Jumpka. He's coming in from CT spawn in a 1-on-3, and he has to try and go for this one. Spots out Surreal, bit of damage being found, but now his position is known. And we should see Epsilon just playing this one as safe as they possibly can, and it's not really needed. Smooya shuts it down, and a 9th round indeed is going to go in favour of Epsilon.
Yeah, pretty good half for Epsilon, and as has pretty consistently been the case for them, it seems, with this new lineup. It's the 3 UK players leading the way in terms of frags. They're not too far ahead of Robin, however, they are pretty consistently doing a decent job, it feels like. However, at the same time, having to rely on those players to step up, I think, is a little bit worrying because, you know, they're not necessarily the most skilled players, some of them. I mean, sure, they're decent, but you know, Smooya is certainly the standout, and then Jenko and Surreal seem good, but I don't know if they can necessarily step up. But so far, they've done enough. They've got the 9-6 lead, and now heading into the CT side, we'll get to see if Epsilon can close out this series, because right now, they are in good shape to do so. They have the slight lead on this second map. That being said, it's Qualifier's map pick, so they'll be looking to work their way back into this on their CT side, which will be coming up in about 30 seconds. I meant to say on Qualifier's T side, I just realized I said it wrong. Oh.
It's G. We understood what you meant. Oh. Don't worry.
Just always getting everything wrong.
We don't blame you. It's fine. We'll let you out with it. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting second half. It's going to be, I'd say, crucial for Qualifier to pick themselves up this pistol round. We saw in Mirage that they started off poor on the CT as well. Then they kind of got a roll on the T side, but in the end, it just wasn't enough. Epsilon managed to pull it off, getting themselves the 16-14 victory. So let's see if we're going to see a similar scoreline now coming into this one. And let's see which team it's going to go in favour of. Are we going to end this series 2-0, or will we have Qualifier taking it towards a decider? And we are going to find out maybe quite soon now as we get live into the pistol. As mentioned, a very important round for Qualifier to pick up, and you can see they do buy utility into 2 players. So Jumpcat and Waterfalls, they get smokes, flashes, and a nade. And let's see how this one's going to work out now as a nade straight up mid. Should connect a decent amount of damage. There you go. Chak and Smooya taking a fairly substantial amount, down to 26 and 66. So a good start into this one now for the T side as they look to just go fast towards this A bomb site. And currently only 2 players in position to actually try and hold this one down. This is going to be so awkward. The Glock's just closing in the distance, and it's working out so well so far. Smooya gets 1, but that is going to be it as Qualifier take full control of this bomb site.
Yeah, just an explosive A push comes in at the start of the round, and Epsilon weren't ready for it. Vic going to be holding off. Easy kill for him. And Surreal won't have anything to do, so it will be Qualifier bringing themselves right back into contention. And after a very close first map, we could be seeing the same come through here on Inferno, because Qualifier look likely to tie this one up as long as they don't lose to one of these weak buys from Epsilon. One of them is going to be coming through now, and this should be the more difficult one to beat out because Epsilon will fully invest. We are going to see Qualifier at the same time go for 3 AKs though, so they are ready to try and deny these pistols. Ready though, the Deeg of Smooya does look dangerous, but doesn't get the kill. Just a tag towards Quick, and it's only the MAC-10 that loses some health, so not a massive issue. In the meantime, QB Fire are pushing up in towards Banana, but they've left the bomb back, so this should be a slower round.
Yeah, looking to be indeed. They have a lot of rifles to work with, so just playing this one safe, looking to see if they can maybe try and catch some of these CT players before they make a decision about where they want to bring it. And right now, 3 players stacked over towards B, but just as I say that, of course, Muya, he decides to leave, make me look like a fool. And now it's 3 players back towards the A side of the map instead, but for now at least, we don't know where QB Fire are going to decide to take this one. They have the banana control indeed, but as we can see, they are now slowly beginning to back off. They have the bomb still down towards the ramp, and they may try and reapproach up towards mid and try and get that control now to work with, which could actually work out. Even with Muya coming back towards A, they instead decided to send Jenko back towards B, so now it's only 2 players to hold down this A position.
Quick gets the first kill. Pretty long range with the MAC-10, but it is Smooya to be caught off guard. Ooh, Quick there gets a second, running and gunning with that MAC-10. They're looking to wrap towards A, but they don't have anyone in towards short, so that could have made things a little awkward, but there's only 1 player in pit, and TSAC cannot get anything done. It's Quick nearly to find the 4K, but only takes Surreal down to 60 HP. That being said, losing the MAC-10 isn't a massive problem, but Surreal looks like he does want to save that MAC-10 into the next round alongside that CZ and Kevlar, and even a flashbang on top. Not sure how possible that will be, though, because QB Fire already moving in on his position. Boomich is willing to risk giving up this UMP to try and hunt Surreal down, and I think he's going to find the position shortly. Surreal is caught off guard, so no save comes through, and that means into this next round we should see almost no investment from Epsilon.
Yeah, I don't think we'll really see anything at all. They don't have the economy to actually allow for it, so it should be just all default pistols. Should be an easy time now for QB Fire, playing a very safe 4 rifles, coming up the 1 UMP on the Boomich. He can just lead the way, try and get those opening kills, and try and maybe feel out the defense, find out if there's any stacks coming in, and you can see there is indeed actually towards middle, so Epsilon looking to try and maybe just get a couple of kills out of this one and end it fast. And let's see how this is going to work out right now. No kills yet to come in, a bit of damage being traded back and forth. Somehow the rifle's at long ranger, yet to actually frag out. Should be happening soon now as the players are beginning to get low. Jenko gets 1. A couple more kills now by Epsilon would be pretty decent, but with the HP just being so low, it's quite difficult. But no, it's working out, okay. Down to a 2-on-2. Not really winnable, but the damage is quite nice to at least get for themselves. And QB Fire, they realised that both players over towards A, so they should be just sprinting up towards this B-bomb site.
Yeah, I think QB5 should have just gone towards B sooner than this, because they must have spotted at least 3, probably 4 or 5 players in towards top mid. They would have been aware B would likely be weak, but they didn't go for that push, and instead they tried to hunt down the kills, which has costed them here. They've already lost a fair few guns. Molly comes out. That does force Jumka to reposition, but with the low HP players, they are just going to save. Jinko gets to save an AK though, so that is a nice little rifle to work with into the next round. And Robin certainly will be okay with keeping the UMP, I think. We've seen him do that in the past when the team has to have a player on a weaker weapon. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that UMP. Oh, he's actually upgraded to an AK even, so that's even better. 2 AKs being saved. And QB Fire are the ones that will also have to reinvest a fair few rifles here, so that could be a bit costly for QB Fire in the long run, especially as Epsilon now will get a great buy into this round, considering they did save those 2 AKs.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was about to point out that there was 4 AKs invested into that round, so there should have been another one laying around on the map. I wasn't sure if it was retrievable, but apparently it was, so Robin gets himself that one. And now they have lots of utility to work with to try and actually back up this buy. Smooya on the op. And let's see which way this first gun round is going to go now, as Epsilon, if they get it, they can reclaim the lead. If not, QB Fire, they'll be getting themselves into that into the position where they will be having the leading scoreline for, I believe, the first time in this map. So let's see how it goes right now. Epsilon, pretty standard setup. 3 players over towards A, though, playing a bit more towards the short side of the map, which could maybe work out, because right now QB Fire, they are grouping up towards the apartments. Jenko in a pretty solid position up on top of the quad. And let's see how this is going to work out now as the flashes come in. Chaki gets blinded, but he does still find 1 kill, tries to transfer onto a second. Won't quite work out, and Quick does successfully find that trade. So now it's into a 4-on-4. Smooya on the bomb site with the op. It's awkward, and he steps right into the Molotov as well. He's losing HP, but he still finds 1 kill at least. Still back into a 3-on-3. Jenko with a single as well. So trades just continuously back and forth, leave it into an equal situation once again, and the bomb plant should now be found. And it's going to be up to Robin and Surreal to try and pull off the retake.
Molly goes in towards short just to slow things down further. Kvik also has one himself, but he's gone aggressive in the smoke, and that means Surreal is going to find him. And Volina now is stuck on the site, having to find both players. They don't know where he is, so he gets the first spray, comes in. Ooh, this is awkward. Both players low, but it's going to be Volina winning out the clutch in the end. That was incredibly close there, though. I thought Surreal was going to get the trade through because the spray down was kind of awkward from both players, but in the end, it is the Qualifier side who gets the round win. And wow, thanks to saving those 2 AKs previously, Epsilon decide to invest. They get 2 AWP sports up. One goes into the hands of Smooya, and you can see Qualifier might not be expecting this. Volina's already bought a Mac 10 for this round.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty good buy coming into this for Epsilon, all things considered. So let's see how it works out. Qualifier, I don't think they're aware yet that they are up against the full buy, so right now at least just holding a bit of a default. They're just slowly splitting up, looking to try and get themselves some map control. And with Banana being taken over, it looks like they will go back now and focus over towards middle instead. Look to try and get this bracket control, look to try and force the player back off of long. And with a nice smoke towards Arch, they have been successful in doing so, so they should be having a fairly easy time now at getting this control towards middle. Oh, if they come long though, Smooya in a great position. It hits that, actually doesn't hit that shot, rather. It looked like it was a connection, but doesn't quite connect. And now it's going to be the T side getting themselves control along as well. So this A-bomb site now is just going to be under a lot of pressure. This Rap can come in, they can come in through long, they can come up through short as well. And right now, Epsilon not really in the greatest position to try and actually assist. We can see 3 players kind of dropped in towards the CT spawn. Surreal pushes forward with an MP9, and it doesn't work out. He gets the damage initially, but Robin, he returns it once with that AWP. And now we're back into a 4-on-4, and Qualifier, they've really begun to stagnate here. They can make their way back towards B, though. The bomb, as you can see, making its way back down through mid, and right now it's just going to be Smooya on this side of the map, and he's only getting into position right now. But it does work out. He finds the opening on the jump get and goes ahead and repositions, so the time's just getting so low. But Volina, oh, great work on this lurk. Didn't even notice he was still in this position, and it pays off perfectly.
Ooh, where's the bomb going?
Oh, no.
I guess it's good.
Does it have time?
I don't know.
No.
Well, not now. Oh, no.
Boom,
I mean,
he's so low. He would have had time, but he gets caught a little bit. He sticks it, and he should be taken down here. He gets the bomb plant, I think, though. Okay, he at least gets the bomb plant by Epsilon. They managed to pull that one off and equalize the scoreline once again. Let's have a look at the economy for Qualifier. It is okay. They will be able to get a pretty solid buy into this one, so it's not too big of a deal. They can try and just reset the economy now of Epsilon, but yeah, a bit of an awkward round there.
Yeah, Qualifier looked fairly indecisive. I think they weren't exactly sure of how Epsilon were set up. I guess it was a bit of an unorthodox setup from Epsilon because they so heavily rotated towards A. Maybe that's what Qualifier were trying to figure out, and eventually they did realize that B was going to be the weakness, but it was just a little bit too late on, and they didn't fully commit to that push even, so yeah, a little bit awkward around there, as you were saying, with the time being left. Boomich does get the bomb plant, but doesn't get the chance to win the round. And that means, again, we're back to an even scoreline. These teams seem to be very, very tightly competing, and already a shot is landed, but that only does 30 damage onto Waterfalls. That was the AWP connecting, but it was through that wall, so apparently not too much damage being done. And that means that Epsilon will fall back towards the site. Got Robin playing with the MP9 up on top of the box. That's a fairly good position to play from, just to try and catch players out off guard. It's a pretty difficult position to clear as you push out here. So let's see if that works for him, because Smooya is also going to be taking the first fight by the looks of things. With that AWP, he's gone with a bit of an aggressive angle.
Yeah, this could be awkward if a nice flash goes in. Let's see if that's going to happen. Indeed it does, but Robin's still in position, throws down a smoke and a nade, gets some damage. MP9 not actually able to find a single kill out of that one somehow, so Smooya now, he's going to be in an awkward situation, trapped around that pillar, and he will get taken down by Volina. So Qualifier taking themselves full control of the B-bomb site, and full control of this round now, as it's looking like round number 21 is going to go in favour of Qualifier and allow them to reclaim this lead. Epsilon likely just going to have to save in this one. We mentioned we're in a position where if they lost this, they are going to get reset. Oh no, Jenko, that's so awkward.
Well, that's unfortunate. Just going to be T-Sack and Surreal trying to save now. Surreal trying to save that AWP at least, but Epsilon have almost no money in the bank. So it's not going to prompt a buy, probably, considering how poor their money is. And we're starting to get into the later stages of this second half now. So the fact that Qualifier do have control of the economy game is a very important factor. You can see Epsilon just having $2,000 between each player pretty much, so not going to be easy into this round. The AWP though dropped over to Smooya. He has fully invested. So Epsilon here taking a risk. I didn't think they would invest into this round. I thought they were going to be willing to go for the one eco. But with the 2 guns saved, they decide this force is good enough. And that's going to be a lot of pressure on towards Smooya and T-Sac with the only 2 premium guns on the CT side.
Yeah, and if they lose this round right now, Qualifier likely going to run away with this T side. So a crucial one indeed for Epsilon. Smooya. He's kind of cooled off a little bit now in this game. 17 to 14, he is still towards the top of that scoreboard for Epsilon, but we need to see him stepping it up a little bit more. Definitely, he is a player who usually can put up those big numbers, and especially with them having lost Cosme and lately, Smooya really needs to start stepping it up a bit more. So let's see now. He does have it over towards apartments. Gamble stack coming in towards B for Epsilon. They have 4 players on this side of the map, or at least they did. Right now, Qualifier just taking this slow, grouping up, getting some map control, doing the same over towards mid as they are on Banana. And now it's going to be really awkward for Epsilon because they're just forced to play really passive back into the sites, and without really having the weapons to work with, it's going to be very difficult. As now Qualifier working for that long control, and it looks like they're actually just going to wrap towards the B bomb site. And right now in towards CT, it's only Robin to try and hold this down with an MP9. Gets 1 and a second. Okay, doesn't quite get the third spray transfer. It is very difficult with that MP9, of course. And Smooya steps it up to take down Valina. So somehow this round is working out for Epsilon. Surreal up close to the smoke. If those players had decided to jump through, that probably would have went a little bit awkward. But as we can see, they back off. They go over towards instead where the op is going to be positioned. Let's see how this is going to work out for them.
Smooya surely hears these steps. With 22 seconds left, he's going to post up on this angle. Jump comes in, so Smooya misses the shot, but there we go. Second time of asking, he gets the double to make it a triple kill all in all. And Epsilon's risky force buy at that does work out for them. They get it back to an even scoreline again. These 2 teams playing an incredibly close series so far. And into this round, again, we're into a position where the loser will have little money left to work with. Qualifier have pretty much invested everything, whereas Epsilon have 1 or 2 players with a little bit of money in the bank, but it's nothing considerable. So this round here should be hugely important. That is assuming that the loser doesn't manage to get a force buy win, which we've already seen a couple of times from both teams. And already, Qualifier going to get some ground towards Banana. Jumka is pushed up, and Epsilon don't look to contest that one. So good map control for Qualifier, gives them a few more options. As it stands, though, they're just going to stay spread across the map, but now the bomb in the hands of Waterfalls will go back more so towards A.
Yeah, and let's see, the smokes at the moment are going to be down, so that delays just a little bit further. Smooya, interesting position, playing close up to the smoke. That could be awkward. His footsteps are going to be heard as he backs off, and the smoke goes down to stop him from really being able to get anything done in this position. Not going to be able to connect any damage either. So now the T side looking to try and finally move in towards brackets and go on quad. He will be taken down by the op. So a good start into this one now for Qualifiers. They look to just try and swarm this A bomb site. And Chaki's in an awkward position. Playing from Graveyard actually does get 1, manages to stay alive, shoots towards his teammate for some reason. Smooya, he's still alive, hits the flick onto the first, spots out a second, takes down Waterfall. Smooya stepping it up massively, but he may be overwhelmed eventually as it does indeed happen. So now into a 2-on-2. Smooya at least giving his teammates now a chance coming in towards this retake as the bomb, it is yet to be planted. So let's see how this works out. And the bomb actually over on short. They need to try and retrieve this one, and Robin right now going to be coming in. He's coming back from short, wrapping around instead towards the apartments, and this maybe could catch them off guard.
Yeah, 10 seconds left. Qualifier have to get the bomb down. The first kill comes in. Robin tries the flank, gets the first frag, but Boomich has to plant. The push comes in. Boomich just about gets his AK out in time for the frag. Oof, that was incredibly close.
This is the worst way this game could possibly go for Epsilon. They haven't been able to chain any rounds together on the CT side.
Well, we've seen Epsilon go for force buys previously, but this time they realised it would just be too much to ask for. They could only really get 1 or 2 rifles, so they decide it's worth taking an eco into this round. I see a couple of players in towards A short, but Qualifier are ready for the low buy. They have 2 MAC-10s on their side of things. At the same time, though, QB Fire's money is similarly poor, so they're going to want to make sure they win this round as easily as possible, with the MAC-10s doing most of the work. However, that might not be a possibility, depending on if Epsilon can get the trade frags together. So, still a somewhat important round, but it should pretty much always be a guaranteed round win for QB Fire. It's mainly about the damage Epsilon can do.
Yeah, for sure. If they can just drop a few weapons, of course with QB Fire only surviving with one player, they don't really build up any bank. So they'll even not have Kevlar.
Oh yeah, no.
That could be really awkward. Okay, let's see how the USPs work out against that one, but at least for now he's just lurking over towards the apartments, and the hit looking to be coming in towards B. Quick with the Mac-10 leading the way. He does have Kevlar to back up his one, and he finds the opening kill onto Robin. Kill at long range as well, wins out the duel against Surreal. So as you would expect, the rifles and the SMGs are going to be able to overpower the defense on this B bomb site, and the bomb plant should come in. Should be QB Fire increasing this lead up to 13. Smooya up against the Kevlar-less opponent. Let's see if it works out, and it does indeed. As you can see, the aim punch is too much for Valina to handle. That's only a Mac-10 drop, but still gonna be nice. Gonna be nice. But he does get taken down. If he had got a couple of kills of that with the Mac-10, that would have been great for Smooya, because he would have built up more bank, and you can see now he doesn't have enough really to buy into this one. Neither does the entirety of Epsilon, but it seems like they're going to go for it anyway. So, okay, he got dropped over and up, so he still has him to work with, and Robin able to buy his own.
And here we go. It's going to be a pretty hard round for Epsilon, considering their lack of nades, but they make up for it with those two AWPs. Smooya could be under threat early on. The push coming in quickly, and Smooya misses the first shot. They're running through the molly. Vic down so low, and it's Smooya to get the first. Trades come back around. Smooya mollied out of position, gets the second kill. Still no trade. Smooya just rattling off the shots one by one. They're all going down. Smooya gets the fourth, but QB Fire don't trade. Where are the trades? I don't even know.
Where are the players is the question.
Wow.
None of them seem focused on Smooya's position at all. I suppose he was changing position. You have to give credit to Smooya where he did manage to change positions, but the fact that he was out in the open for so long, swapping from quad, from the Molotov, then swapping over to the pillar, then back to dark. If QB Fire just pushed that one together, they likely should have been able to find that trade, and at most Smooya maybe would have had 2 kills, but instead he comes up with a great ace. And look at this, he starts it off again. This is Robin actually with the op. I didn't get to see because he was scoped in, but a good start. The op's doing damage right now as this round starts off heavily in favour of Epsilon with a man advantage being found, and it's not a great buy by QB Fire. So if they lose this one, they might be forced onto an eco, and Epsilon somehow will have actually managed to pull this game back in their favour.
Yeah, I think Smooya tried to reposition with that ult because he assumed the opponents wouldn't want to go towards B again after he shut them down so heavily. However, QB Fire, by the looks of things, will go back towards B. Robin this time is here with the AWP. Let's see if he can have a similar round to what Smooya just did. That's not going to be easy, but he's already got the first kill. This time, though, QB Fire lining up the nades, lining up the flashes. They're hoping they can get the trades through, as it will be Robin and Surreal on the hold.
Yeah, Robin with the op. Let's see if he can pull off a Smooya right now, as actually the T's are going to be wrapping in around through CT. Similar to what we've seen in the previous round from one player. This time they stick together. 3 coming in from that direction. We see Waterfalls hanging back towards Banana. Right now it's a little bit awkward. 2 players kind of just trapped in towards the back of the bomb site. They have a nice crossfire and set up between Quad and Dark, but you see the opening kill goes in favour of Quick. And Jenko now with the UMP. He actually does strike to take down Quick, but once again, Boomage, he's successful to drop Robin on the bomb site. So 3 on 3. Retake's going to be a bit awkward, and if they push through the smoke, especially Waterfalls just up close, finds a free kill. He's not really able to trade that when he has the op. He can't jump through to follow it up.
Yeah, Jenko has got the smoke. That will go somewhat towards the bomb. Gives him some ground that allows him to push forwards and isolates the first player. Boomich already dropped. Steps being made. Jenko gets a second kill. Volina there gives away his position. And Smooya gets the shot through. QB Fire again just cannot close out the rounds when they really need them. And that will be again the 2 AWPs saved. But more importantly, QB Fire's money again not looking good. It's Epsilon now who seem to be in control.
Yeah, I don't know. Who was it that jumped up out of the pit? Because they were in a pretty good position.
Volina.
Yeah, they had a nice little crossfire there to take down the player who comes through the CT spawn. And they should have been aware that Jenko wasn't actually pushing up towards the pit himself, because they could hear the footsteps of him running back to clear dark. So I don't know, a bit of a miscommunication, a bit of a misplay by Qualifier, and Epsilon, they pull off a 2-on-3 retake right there, so a great performance indeed. And now the economy, as I mentioned, for Qualifier, it is going to be broken. They get themselves pistols, they get themselves Kevlar, but that is going to be it now, as it's just a half investment, a quasi-buy. And look at this aggression by Surreal, not going to work out, he gets taken down. That's a bit of a misplay right there, I do have to say, and especially considering the fact that he's completely solo over on B. Luckily enough, the op isn't retrieved, and also Robin now able to get into position, but the pistols are doing so much damage. What's happening, Epsilon? How is this round falling apart? Smooya going to do his best to try and bring it back, but he gets flanked out and he's not going to be able to connect the shot. Robin in position to try and help will actually find it, but now still a one-man disadvantage for Epsilon. And the B-bomb site now under the control of Qualifier. Op and an M4 have been retrieved, and the bomb should be planted.
Yeah, Boomich just about crosses to the site thanks to the assistance from Jimka. The AWP doesn't get to lock down the angle. Robin has already pushed through that smoke. Don't think they'll expect him to be in that position, but they're not going to peek in towards him, and Epsilon already calling this one off. Just as it looks like it's Epsilon's turn to be in position to take the lead, it goes against them. Qualifier will be the ones taking the 14th round. And this time, it's Epsilon whose money will be questionable. They get to save the 2 AWPs, so I think that might prompt them to go for an investment, especially because Qualifier will be up to 14 rounds. But it certainly won't be a full buy. I mean, that being said, we've seen both teams win with pistols, so every chance for Epsilon, even with the worst buy.
Yeah, but right now, if Qualifier take this round, they're going to be able to get themselves the map point. And then Epsilon would be going for a very weak buy into the following round. So a crucial one, if Epsilon don't take this, this could be the map over and done with. We could be heading on towards the decider. Let's see if that's going to be the case. As you mentioned, though, a double op is going to be saved in. Jenko has an M4 to work with as well, so it's not a terrible investment. They have pretty decent weaponry in towards this round. And Smooya, he's been having a great performance, currently 30 kills and 16 deaths. And let's see if we can step it up once again now in this round. As Robin back onto the secondary AWP, he has this over towards the B-bomb site. And he is holding this angle now to wait and see if anyone decides to push forward into his cross here. But for the moment, Qualifier, they know they're up against these ops once again. They are taking it quite slowly.
Yeah, Kvik will go in towards apartments. We haven't really seen Epsilon compete for this position so far, so that's a pretty safe option. In the meantime, Robin will be over towards B with his AWP, but it's Smooya who could be getting the first face in towards him. Push coming through. Smooya spots the first, and it's an easy flick. Waterfalls goes down without the chance for a trade. And Qualifier weren't really ready to commit to the push. Again, the bomb is all the way back towards T-spawn. They finally picked that one up. And with 45 seconds left, Qualifier are going to probably look to reposition towards Banana because Jimka is leading the way with the bomb. That would have been a risk if there were a player around the corner. He could have been dropped and that could have allowed a rotation, but he isn't spotted yet. That smoke, though, allows Surreal to play up close. And with 28 seconds, Qualifier might have to push through that smoke there.
Yeah, but when this begins to fade, it's going to get awkward. Surreal does have a Molotov, but if the smoke begins to dissipate before he can get into safety, which he has been able to do, so that's not really going to be a factor. Molotov goes down, and damage is being done now as the T's try and commit towards the bomb site, but Robin finds the opening. Surreal with the CZ finds one eventually, and he does manage to stay alive for the moment. The players push him down, they're both low. He finds one more with a quick headshot, and it's all on to Jumpka. 36 points of HP, and he sees Smooya jumping through this.
What?
Oh. I don't know, I saw that from Jumpka's point of view. I have no idea how Smooya did not shoot. Did he not see him?
He must have lagged out or something. Like, he wasn't moving either.
Let's look at the scoreboard, Smooya. He's 31 ping. I don't know.
Oh, Smooya's typing in chat. Maybe he accidentally, like, alt-tabbed. There's no reason to be looking at the scoreboard, though. As you're jumping through a smoke, you just take a look at the scoreboard and be like, yeah, I'm the top fragger. And then, like, oh, accidentally alt-tabbed. Could that have been what happened? Probably.
I hope not. He looked at the scoreboard and was like, all right, I have the confidence. Jumps through the smoke, and he tabs out. Yeah, something like that must have happened, or else he just didn't see the player. I don't know. Maybe he thought he heard the bomb plant on the other side or something. He thought it was behind the fountain. He was trying to watch for that, but I don't know. We can speculate all we want. The thing is, Epsilon still win the round, so it's not too big of a deal. But with the bomb plant coming in, it's actually a really solid buy from Qualifier. The only real weakness they have is that Mach 10.
Yeah, and Epsilon also have an MP9 in the mix. Ooh, dangerously close there on the wallbang. Both teams rattling off the shots. Kvik has been taken down low, but that was elsewhere. That was over towards second mid. So Wallbang's coming through. I think Kvik is now going to switch it up over to that MAC-10. They feel like he's not going to have much of a chance of doing anything, so he will just get that SMG. It is forced back by the flash. Again, though, Qualifier, they go for the mid presence, but they're not having the push lined up. That could just allow Smooya to get another pick here and then be able to fall back pretty comfortably. Smooya peeking out slowly but surely, goes for the fight, and Smooya yet again gets that opening.
Sorry, my game froze. I am back now. I can see what's going on. And yes, Smooya finds himself a second there. I wasn't able to see the first one, but it is a good start into this round for Epsilon. As right now the buy not really working out for Qualifier. Low HP on the two players. Waterfalls returns one at least, but still Jack up close. And Waterfalls is really the only one that's looking healthy enough to get anything done in this round. And as he goes down, that is going to be Epsilon getting themselves to map and a serious point. And now Qualifier, all they're really going to have into this one is pistols, maybe a couple of SMGs. And yeah, UMP comes in, so what are we going to see coming into this round now is the question. Do we see the CZs and UMP is pulling it off, or do you think Epsilon have this one now? Because we've seen them lose a couple of force up against a couple of force buys already, so I'm a little bit wary, but let's see. Double op setup still in play, of course, Robin and Smooya, and plenty of utility, lots of Molotovs to try and slow it down.
Epsilon should be fully focused. We saw a couple of those previous rounds, as you were saying, but it's into round 30 now, so they cannot assume they have the win guaranteed yet. The push looks like it's going to come through towards A. Qualifier haven't really gone for too many quick pushes with the bomb, so this is something we haven't seen that much from them. Let's see if it can work out, because here we go. The flash is coming in. The CZ's trying to get up close. Boom, it doesn't check the flank. No kills come in. Jenko finds 2, and that is it. It is all over. They shut down the A play, and Epsilon will take the series 2-0 with 2 16-14s. And, well, we'll go back to the desk again to break down some of those ridiculous plays.
Thank you, Dean Poca, and welcome back to the studio.
Microphone. Yeah. Sorry.
Welcome back to the Frank studio. So, the second map, Epsilon 1 16-14 again, that's 2-0, and Qualifier is out of the tournament. So, Danny, what happened? What went wrong?
Unfortunately for them, they're out, as I expected, since they played really underwhelmingly against Sprout, and I knew that Epsilon has an ace in their sleeve to surprise QBF, which is basically a stronger team on paper if you compare these two teams, just because they have that legend status on Major. They performed really well, but after the Major there weren't any noticeable results. So let's talk about Inferno. It was a really close game, just like what we've seen on Mirage, 16-14, even though QBF also had some struggles in those post-plan situations. I would like to mention that one round when actually Epsilon planted the bomb on B site, and I believe it was Zek and Surreal being alive at that moment, and 4 players were doing that retake, and they just couldn't do it because Surreal, I think it was him being last alive, killing the last guy before he could get a chance to defuse the bomb. So that's a misplay. You have 4 guys rotating to B site, you have to use your utility to smoke off that guy. Actually, that was Surreal on Banana holding that angle, and you can use just your flashes. And in that situation, they looked quite unorganized. But yeah, mistakes are happening. But since we've seen what Smooya is capable of, as what he did on Mirage, he's like twice the better than Inferno, dropping 33 kills, I think.
He had an ace even.
He had an ace, yeah, you're right. And at result of 14-14, QBF just had to win that round, because if they lose the round, they don't have enough economy to invest in AKs and stuff.
The buy is very, very weak, yeah.
Yeah, very weak buy. Although they had AKs, and 1 player had MAC-10, so
only 1 player.
Yeah, they definitely needed to win that round. And Smooya was playing with op from short, walking all the way, killing 1 guy, and they basically won that round, even though QBF did some mistakes anyways.
Matt, what do you make of that game? Smooya one-man show, one-man show, or did
Yeah,
QBF
it's
play bad?
definitely Smooya one-man show. The only problem the Qualifier had is Smooya. The guy had like 32, 3 or maybe 35 kills on Inferno even. We saw the Mirage, we saw what he's capable of. We didn't see him popping off like this, but this is just inhuman. Really inhuman.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, so Epsilon won 2-0. The next game they will play against Sprout. That's gonna happen tomorrow at 2 p.m. CET.
Yeah.
And the next game today is going to be the game of Group B between Vindigo and NTC.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's gonna happen at 4 p.m. CET. So until then, we are gonna take a little bigger break, around 30 minutes, and we'll be back at 4.
Place your bets at gg.bet. Most popular esports titles. Deposit with convenient payment options. Cool mini games. And 24/7 support for players. Sign up now for the best esports bets at gg.bet. Place your bets at gg.bet. Most popular esports titles. Deposit with convenient payment options. Cool mini games. And 24/7 support for players. Sign up now for the best esports bets at gg.bet.
Welcome to the Ifrag Studio. Today we are watching GG Origin, also qualifier for IEM Sydney 2018. We watched the first match previously, now we are on to the second match, which is actually a decider for Group B between NTC and Vindigo. I will be your desk host, Stefan, and we meet today are Matt and Danny. So
Hello.
Hello. Group A, sorry, this is Group A match. How are you guys?
Yeah, feeling good. We had a break of 30 minutes just to clear our minds and get ready for the finals of Group A, actually.
Group A, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have NTC versus Vindigo. NTC is coming from the winner bracket. That means that they already have an advantage 1-0.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a best of 5 match, as opposed to the previous match we had. So what do you guys think about this match?
I would say that NTC had some problems previously at ESEA MTL League. I think they played that one. It's only because they played from Brazil against European teams and they had problem with ping. You could see them with
They had like 160 ping, yeah.
50 and 60. So they're now boot camped in Germany. So they won't be having any problems with ping now. So they're playing against the Bulgarian Vindigo, who managed to get their
his way up to finals.
To get their revenge on alternate attacks yesterday, even though they lost in the first match of Group A against them, and quite convincingly. Not as much on Mirage, it was 16-11, but they got stomped on Train. I remember them taking that pistol round, letting alternate attacks taking pistol round. Then Vindigo wins 3 rounds in a row, and after that it was all falling apart and they lost 16-3. Looking at NTC, you have players such as Henny, Lucas, FNX, Phelps and Bit. And Bit is the player I'm not quite familiar with, but I got information that he played mostly
1.6.
CS 1.6, and right now he is an in-game leader for NTC. So definitely an interesting match coming here. And I will say that NTC is probably, as expected, the strongest team in Group A. They managed to crush Codewise Unicorns in their first match, opening match. Then they managed to crush Alternate 8X. And right now they're up to, I don't think Vindigo is up to that challenge to beat such a high quality team.
So they are quite dominant. They didn't drop a single map up until now, playing against Vindigo, a big underdog.
Yeah, I would say so.
Matt, can you introduce a Vindigo team to us?
Yeah, of course. Vindigo is a team which is coming from Bulgaria, and they're quite good. But I don't think they're good enough to beat the NTC, especially with the 1-0 lead. I think it will be a good match. Yeah, it's 1-2. It's Kabul now, or
I don't know. We can go
think
into Veto.
Yeah, maybe.
And see the maps. And
I would like to see Cobblestone actually.
So let's see what happened. Okay,
Yeah.
so we can see Vindigo ban Mirage, NTC ban Nuke. The first map will be Cobble, which was picked by Vindigo. The second map will be Inferno, which was picked by NTC. The next 2 maps were Cash by Vindigo and Train by NTC. And if it comes to the fourth map, the fourth map is going to be NTC's Train, and the last map is Overpass from Vindigo. What do you think about these maps?
Definitely a map Vindigo likes to play on, and it's Cobblestone. They managed to beat Alternate 8X yesterday 16-9, even though they had a really huge lead and they just let Alternate 8X swinging couple rounds in a row. And I would like to say that Vindigo does have a chance to surprise NTC if they have a good start on Cobblestone, because it's one of their better maps. They like to play on it. They like to play on Train as well. They like to play on Inferno. So these maps are all going into, let's say, Vindigo's way, but still they're not playing against some pretty unknown teams. They're playing against NTC, which was ex-Immortals, 4 players.
Yeah,
played for
Immortals.
Immortals,
Extremely strong team.
except for Bit. Yeah, extremely strong team here. So definitely it's going to be quite interesting, but since NTC have that map advantage, it's going to be really, really tough for Windigo, even though Windigo is as a lineup, their lineup is playing for a while. They're playing this for years, and we know how Balkan teams can react to some rounds. Everything is getting frustrated, tilted. You can hear them raging.
Yeah, but it can also go the other way around, because passionate people tilt, but on the other side, passionate people can perform better. So maybe we can see that and see Windigo making.
Well, yeah, the last time I remember it was we were hosting Nations Elite Esports, and Windigo was bootcamped right in our gaming arenas, you know, and we were watching them playing against, I can't quite remember which team, but you could even hear them from here, screaming if they
shouting.
win the round, or you know. So yeah, it's going to be quite interesting.
I mean, as long as that's under control, it can be good. So the first map is Cobblestone.
Yeah.
Matt, what do you think about that? Is that good start for Windigo?
Cobble is quite a good map for Windigo. They have like 65% win rate on it, but as Danny said, they're not playing against some unknown team. They're not playing with some tier 3 or 4 teams. They're playing as the team which four of them were in major finals. They're quite good. 3 of them played for SK for some time. They know the routine, they know tactics, they know everything. It will be extremely hard for Windigo to come back from 1-0 lead and win this series. So I expect maybe not 3-0 from NTC, but 3-1, 3-2. It's all good, but NTC will take this series most likely.
Okay, we'll see. So how important is the first map? Like, if Windigo is losing 2-0, are they gonna break up? Like, is that the most important map for them?
Most likely,
or?
yes. But if they're enough passionate, as we know, they're gonna put it aside and just play. Because you have 1-0 lead, that's enough like pain on your back. But if you lose the second map, it just gets harder. But as we know, Windigo are not some random team, and they can win this, but
Yeah,
What do you
extremely
think?
hard.
yeah, and they also have that mentality just to never give up against. I mean, we've seen them play against Godsend, and they managed to beat them at that Nations Elite Esports. So I still think that NTC is much stronger team than Godsend. So, and Windigo doesn't have anything to lose here. They just need to prove everyone else that they can match against some tier 1 teams, which is most likely what it is in this case. But basically, when we talk about Cobblestone, they definitely have a chance, especially if Spellon and Ships perform once again like they performed yesterday. Even though Punisher and Victor at some point had a bit underwhelming performance, I think it was actually on Mirage when at one point Punisher had 2 kills and managed to die 12 times, while Victor had like score of 4-16 or something. So if they bounce back, maybe Windigo can surprise NTC on Cobblestone.
If we see a good performance from Bubble and Spellon as well. Spellon, earlier yesterday, on the map they played on Cobblestone, as the same. He just could get a frag on every single position. Like, he had an AVP. He goes mid, he gets an entry. He goes B plateau, he gets a kill. And every single position you see him in, he gets an entry.
Just like a Smoya.
Yeah, just like Smoya.
Okay, so the
But
players are
of course,
ready.
Smoya
The game is
is-
gonna start soon, so I wanted to ask you one last question. Your predictions for the first map.
NTC.
I'll go with Underdogs.
You'll go with Windigo?
Yeah, I'll
Now-
go with Wingo. It's really awesome to have a split analyst desk. One goes for NTC, one goes for Underdogs, this case Windigo. But before we jump into game, I think we have around a minute. I would like to say that Bubble is not feeling comfortable playing with Op, so Spellon is taking his role, so that might be a handicap for Windigo, and I don't think Spellon does have a chance to play Op duels against Henny. So I'll still go with Windigo, and I'll say 16-13 for them.
If Windigo manages to win this series, I think he will rub it on my nose just because I picked
he's gonna be a genius.
NTC. Just because I picked NTC.
Yeah, well, we are going to switch to the game. Our caster for this map is going to be Dean alone again. So, Dean, take it away.
Thank you on the desk as always, and yeah, we are just about ready to get into the action. I'm Dean, I'm going to be your caster for today, and I'll try and keep it fairly slow for all of my Portuguese friends in the chat, so we should have a pretty good game incoming. It is a best of 5 as was mentioned. NTC, due to coming from the upper bracket, they do have themselves a nice little 1-0 advantage, so they get a free map win, and will only need to pick up 2 more for the victory. When they go on the other hand, they need to try and take 3, so it's going to be a good series indeed, and we are now live into the knife round, so let's see what way this one goes. Is Ola high in Portuguese as well? Can someone in the chat tell me that? But here we go. Next round now. It is live. Let's see who takes it. Looks like it's going to be NTC. So yeah, the Brazilian side will have the choice to start this off on whichever side they want, whether they want to go for the defense or the offense. And it looks like they're going to stick to that counter-terrorist side. So let's see how it goes now. I'm looking forward to seeing NTC play once again. They've impressed me so far throughout this tournament. And yeah, coming straight towards the upper bracket, as I said, gives them a nice little 1-map advantage to work with. It is, thank you. If you want to, if someone wants to say something to me on the caster, I'll be looking at chat. You can at ESL_Dean. That's my Twitch account that I'm currently on. So right now into the action, you can see on the T side it is Bubble to pick up a bit of utility to work with, as well as a P250. Over for NTC, we see Bit getting himself a defuse kit and 2 flashes. So pretty default setup right now coming in. Windigo taking this one slowly, just splitting across the map and waiting to see if they can catch anything off. See if anyone on the NTC side decides to maybe get aggressive. For the moment though, not really happening. Stacked up towards the B bomb site. We see Henny on his own over towards mid, and it looks like he's actually going to have a bit of contact coming in his direction quite soon. You see now they are making their way out into water, making their way up through danger. The footsteps are going to be heard, and Henny will call now for some assistance to come over, as we can see Bit decides to join him. It looks like they are going to have 2 players ready on this A-bomb site now once this attack finally comes in, but still a lot of time right now for Windigo to work with. They don't really have to rush it. They have over a minute, and let's see what way they actually decide to take this, because they could still go back towards B after making all that noise. You can see for the moment at least the bomb hanging around back towards the door, so they haven't really made their decision. Oh, bit of damage now being taken. Victor down to 81, but it is returned onto Biss, so nothing really substantial done early on into this round now, and it looks like they're trying to sell maybe a bit of a fake over towards B. The bomb does hang around over towards the A side of the map, and now they have 40 seconds to really get a move on. There we go. Victor gets 1. Oh, he gets a second as well. Bit is dropped in connector, now fully under the control of Windigo. That was a nice little play. They sent them players back. They were able to come in and just pincer in towards this A bomb site, and it works out perfectly. NTC right now working with a 2-man disadvantage, and Henny as well taking a lot of damage. Does actually still manage to pick off 1 player, but Victor does his job again and ups it towards the hat-trick. So Phelps now all alone. 1 on 3, and let's see if he's going to be able to pull this off. Does pick up the defuse kit off the body of Bit. He begins to push in through the mortar hole. His position is known, though. That's what makes this a little bit more difficult. He doesn't have a surprise factor. And Victor now in a great position. Has the back of him exposed and will eventually finish it off. So there you go. Windigo, they pick themselves up the pistol round. And it's on the back of Victor picking up a massive quad kill. Thank you, I Olaf you. I Olaf you too. But yeah, let's see. Good start for Windigo. As mentioned, they do come into this series down by a map by default, so NTC, if they were to take this map, they would be in a good position, but let's see right now, they do lose the pistol, they go for the full investment, and ooh, nice damage being connected there by Spellin. That nade goes in and brings FNX and Henny down quite low. The boost, I believe, has also been spotted. Spellin gets ready to pre-fire it actually, but the FNX is crouched at the moment, so perhaps he'll be given an opportunity to try and strike, but it seems like they've been scared back from that boost now, just falling more passive into the bomb site instead. When they go, they know they're up against a force buy, so they aren't really in a rush. They want to take this as safely as they can. In terms of the buy, they took it quite safe as well. 2 AKs come out, 2 UMPs, and a Mach 10. So they have the SMGs to try and build up some bank, but they have the rifles as well to make sure that they can safely take those long-range duels. And it's actually Ships to open this one up. So Bit gets taken down over towards A. 2 more players in position, but still only working with these pistols, it is going to be difficult. And we can see Wendigo now just beginning to swarm the bomb site. They have full control. And I think NTC have decided on a save now into this one. Just keep themselves the Kevlar, keep themselves the pistols. And then the next round, then they can just try and aim to get at least a bit of damage done to the economy of Wendigo. Big sound? What's wrong with the sound? If there's a sound issue, I cannot hear that because I do not have the same feed as you guys. I have my own game open, so... NTC, they should be able to save all these weapons, but they're actually in decent enough position to maybe try and take themselves 1 or 2 exits here. They could drop a couple of weapons, maybe retrieve one, but I don't think it's going to happen. You can see NTC, or rather Wendigo, they play this one really safe. They know that they want to try and keep all 5 players alive, build up some bank, and they decide to just hang around over towards A long. So NTC, they will be allowed to save themselves some pistols and Kevlar. They have an opportunity now in this round to at least try and get some damage done. If not, actually have an opportunity to try and win the round with these CZ, because we know what damage they can actually do when we speak about that. So they are very, very powerful weapons, especially in the hands of the players, such as the ones that they're in. Phelps, FNX, and Lucas, they definitely can be very, 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 very skilled players. Right now, though, Wendigo, I know they're up against just a similar buy to the previous round, so they don't really differ too much. They go for a default once again. They just try and work some map control for the moment and see if anyone from the CT side decides to get aggressive and give them an opportunity to get that opening kill with ease. And you can see how safe they are taking this. So passive, so slow. They don't want to get up close to these pistols and give the opportunity for them to really get the damage done. So it's a smart play indeed, but the problem is they don't really have any map control currently to work with, and because of this I think they're just going to go back towards this B bomb site, and currently there is 4 players in position to try and hold this down. That's the 4 players that have upgraded pistols, and this could get a little bit awkward right now for Wendigo because they're leaving it a bit long the time. They still have enough to work with, they have plenty for now, and it looks like they will get a move on. Finally beginning to push forward, and let's see how it works out. Punisher opens it up with the AK. Damage is being dinked back, but still all the kills do go in favour of the Bulgarian side, bar the 1 from Henny, so it's now going to be only Bit and Henny that remain. And there you go, the AKs close that out quite easily. So when they only lose a single player, they get themselves that 3-0 start. And now let's see what NTC can get done once they have the full buyout. Henny, of course, he will have the AWP. He saved purposely to get that one. And it is going to be coming out now into play, but this is an awkward buy. There's so little utility for NTC to work with. They have a single smoke and 5 flashes, so not ideal. They don't really have anything to try and hold off a fast play if that's what we see coming from Wendigo. And with a couple of SMGs, I was thinking perhaps it could be a possibility, but it seems like they're going to just continue on with this default. Maybe just try and get some control in the map early on. And Henny, look how aggressive he's getting. He spots out the player up towards the rock, but he doesn't have the opportunity to actually get the shot off. So for now, it's still a 5-on-5 with no damage being done. Let's see when they go now, using their utility, looking to try and bait it out from the NTC side, which has worked. There's no smokes remaining. Only 3 flashes. So once Wendigo decide to go towards the bomb site, if the flashes aren't absolutely perfect from NTC, it's just going to be so difficult of a hold that they're going to need to actually connect their shots so successfully. So let's see how that works out. They do have the slight firepower advantage, which is worth noting, with those couple of SMGs being carried over from Wendigo. But right now it's looking like the B bomb site defense is going to be under attack, and it's quite a passive setup at the moment actually. Phelps and Lucas hang back. See FNX watching the drop room, and 2 players over towards the A side of the map as well. So let's see now how this goes. NA caster? I'm not from North America, I'm from Ireland. How dare you. Well, let's see now. They're going to have to get a move on, really. 30 seconds remaining to begin to push towards the B-bomb site. They had to control and drop. Phelps, nice spray down to find 2. He's losing teammates in the process, though, and he will be overwhelmed. So the B-bomb site being taken over. Wendigo do claim themselves a man advantage. And also over towards the door right now. The CTs are just kind of stuck out. Bit had nowhere to fall back to for cover, and with 2 players peeking in towards him, he's just not able to win out the duels. And now it's all onto Henny, 1-on-3. This position has been noted now. Trapped in towards the pizza. You see, Punisher just goes for the peak and finds it, so Wendigo get themselves a 4-0 start. And right now for NTC, it's not looking too great on the CT side of a Cobblestone. Mostly just the full eco coming in from NTC. They do have themselves 2 players with Kevlar to try and back this up, a couple of CZs and a couple of nades as well that perhaps could get some damage done. Right now, one is over towards the A bomb site and FNX has his over towards B, so they're not together either. Maybe if they had been able to throw them in towards the position at the same time, trying to find a quick kill, that would have been good, but they're separated for the moment. As Wendigo just continue on with a very passive playstyle. They're not getting aggressive at all. They always hold for about a minute, just sit back as far as they possibly can, and so far it's working out. Up against the pistols once again, doing so because they know that they don't want to give an opportunity for those pistols to actually strike up close, which is where most of them are viable. But we do look towards Lucas now, who has a deagle. He does have the ability to try and get those long range shots, and let's see if he's going to be able to work anything. As it looks like Wendigo now are just going to favour over towards A. Epsilon just trying to sell some presence on the other side of the map, and actually this may work out for NTC. We've seen they've got a little bit of a stack in play. They have 3 players over towards this position. And let's see now as the terrorists do just creep up through long, spelling down and drop room, actually gets taken down by Phelps. So that's a UMP now that can be retrieved, and that's going to give them a bit of an idea, especially with Lucas getting aggressive over towards B platform. But Bubble, he opens that up with the AK. Nice find, put it into a 4-on-4. Phelps not able to get anything done. Victor takes him out of midair. And now a 4-on-3 in favour of Wendigo as the rifles are just doing so much work. Victor especially with a hat-trick so far into this round. Now, Lucas is the last man standing. That flank not really given the opportunity to get anything done. Punisher, he should be able to find this one quite easily. And there you have it. So Wendigo a 5-0 start. Now NTC should be able to afford that buy once again, and it should be pretty decent. Henny has enough for the op. Phelps, he's been the secondary opper, I believe, for this lineup as well. He did have enough, but Cobblestone, a map where the double up setup on the CD side can just be so difficult, because if you aren't able to hold the sites, then the retakes are almost impossible with the AWPs, so it gets quite difficult, and there's not really too many positions you can get aggressive either. So, but let's see now. You do see Wendigo just splitting up once again and looking to go for a default, it seems. Might fix it if it ain't broken. Look at this, Henny getting so aggressive over towards the platform. He jumped straight up over the smoke. He's able to get himself into a nice position. Currently no one really peeking this, so no opportunity for him to actually be taken down for the moment. There we go now. Wendigo grouping up over towards the A side of the map. They're going to be looking to try and creep in and get the control similar to the previous round. And right now, at least, it's only a bit alone over towards A. He's playing quite passive, so he should be in a position where he should get the info quite early, then allow for the rotate to come in. But you can see now Wendigo making a move. They are going to begin to get towards this bomb site, just as the CT is also begin to rotate. So it's going to be a difficult one. A smoke down for the moment is going to maybe delay this push a little bit further. They do still have a minute, so they're not really in too much of a rush. But they'll make a decision soon about where they want to bring this. Here we go now, though. It is going to be the A bomb site attack. Smokes and flashes coming in. Phelps in a nice position. Does have the supportive bit also on the bomb site, but he gets caught off guard. That smoke doesn't bloom in time. He gets taken down. And once again, Wendigo, it ships with the openings. He's going to be able to find 2. Punisher trades that back out onto FNX. And now it's a 4-on-2 once again in favour of the Bulgarian side, as this round not looking so good. It is just going to be Lucas and Henny now, and I think they're just looking to save this one already. I don't think they actually want anything to do with it. Who's the Scottish lad? I'm not Scottish. I'm from Ireland. My name is Dean. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Welcome to all the Portuguese fans. Right now, though, the Bulgarians are probably a little bit happier because it is a 4-on-1 and it's about to be a 6-0 lead for Wendigo. So let's see. Reminder, though, it is a best of 5, so it could still go either way. NTC, they do also have a 1-map advantage due to coming in from the upper bracket. So Scotland equals nothing. We're just trying to trigger it. I'm not going to fall for that. I'm not going to fall for it. Irish so you can speak the fake language. No, I actually can't really speak Irish, and it is a terrible language, I agree. It's a very difficult language as well. Apparently that guy streams CSGO from his car. If he does, that's actually quite interesting, and I would definitely watch that. So. But yeah, back into the action now. NTC, they do get a bit of a buy into this one due to saving a couple of weapons, but it's not perfect. The UMP, 2 from Masses. They still have the op for Henny. Helps with an M4A4. So let's see how this one's going to go right now. Windigo looking so good so far coming in towards Cobblestone. It is one of their better maps. It is worth noting. And NTC, of course, they've had a very limited amount of time to actually practice. So with this being a best of 5, this is actually a pretty good opportunity for Windigo, having that wider map pool. People trying to bait me in chat? Yeah, I know. I'm not falling for it. I like talking to the chat, though, especially when I'm solo casting. The chat is my duo caster, so I have 8,086 duo casters right now. So that's pretty cool. Up Donegal. Yeah, up to Donegal, I guess. Let's see, though. 50 seconds remaining now, and it looks like Windigo are going to bring this towards the B-bomb site. Good start, though. Henny able to connect the first shot. Luke is still alive on the bomb site as well, but the trade comes in by Victor now. Lucas with a UMP. This is going to be awkward, long-range duels. And he wins out the first and still alive somehow. He's yet to be taken down. Eventually, Bubble strikes. And the bubble pops as Lucas is taken down and heading in towards the drop room right now. Players on both sides, and he actually is going to be taken down by FNX. So good find for NTC. They get themselves a man advantage. And just now the bomb will be planted for Windigo. So it's going to be a 2-on-3. They don't actually have a defuse kit currently in their possession, which could make this retake quite difficult if time is wasted. So they don't have too much time to work with. Victor spots out Bit over towards Long, and actually Bit wasn't able to find that kill for himself. FNX doing the damage though. Phelps instead to find the kill, and now Bubble all alone in a 1-on-3 finds the first kill, gets the second as well. And now it's all onto Phelps, the CZ in hand. Kit has at least been retrieved, but Bubble clutches out the 1-on-3. Windigo, they get themselves a 7-0 lead. NTC right now, they go down 0-7. Well, they buy again. It looks like they actually are going to do so. Really enjoying my solo cast. Oh, well, you won't have to enjoy that anymore because we do have Dinko joining soon. So another Irish caster going to be coming in to take you through the action. And yeah, it should be a good one indeed. So let's see right now. Windigo with a 7-0 lead. NTC, they do buy once again, but we're going to be lacking on all these buys. Because of the money bonus, it's kind of influencing them to keep buying up. But it's never perfect. Henny, he has the op all right, but he has very little utility and he doesn't have Kevlar. We can see the 2 UMP is also coming out, so it's not really perfect. Let's see, Windigo now, 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining, and I don't think they're going to be doing too much anytime soon. We've seen so far a very slow and methodical T-side from Windigo. They definitely have prepared coming into this game. You can see how well prepped they are. But let's see if it's going to work out, as so far it is. But Henny, he finds the opening kill this time. Victor is going to get taken down. And a man advantage now in play for NTC to work with, so they're in a pretty decent position. Spellin trying his best to return this over towards platform. Not really going to be working out. All he does is get taken up to 52 HP, so NTC, they retain themselves the man advantage, and Windigo now are just going to try and commit towards the A-bomb site, and let's see how it's going to work out. Lots of utility still in play. They throw that out to try and close in the distance, and you can see Bit actually going to be the one to open this up at the UMP from sight. Over now towards Long, it's going to be Henny, and he's kind of trapped in towards Wood, but still a really good position, has the angle held, and he wins it out as Phelps on the flank is going to be able to pounce. He takes 2. And there you have it. NTC finally get themselves around to work with, and yeah, we finally have Dinko joining in. So what's up, Dinko, my friend? What's the crack?
Yeah, good. A little bit late in, but server 9 then we...
Mic's a little bit low. I don't know if that's just for me. Sadly, as you just hopped in, of course, we weren't able to go over the sound levels with you, so bear with us for guys while we deal with those issues if he is actually low for you guys. But yeah, coming into this one now, let's see, NTC, they get themselves around, but they have to try and chain a couple actually together. They can't afford to just instantly get to have this one returned by Windigo, so let's see how it goes. Spellin, who doesn't actually find that opening kill. Lucas is able to pounce while Spellin's distracted, spamming away at the smoke, so man advantage once again goes in favour of the Brazilian side. And Windigo now on a 4-on-5. Let's see if they're able to actually recover this one. NA mic? Dinko actually is a better mic than me, but yeah, it was just because he wasn't able to check his levels, his mic volumes. I think he was in college himself, so he's only returned. All my co-casters are apparently in college. Oh, Lucky in the chat. What's up, man? Shout out to NSG_Lucky. Go ahead and follow him if you see him in the chat there. An Irish streamer who puts in a lot of work and is very dedicated, so I feel like he deserves that shout out. But yeah, let's focus back on the game right now. 50 seconds remaining. And Wendigo, they are just going to be, at the moment, grouping up towards A once again, very similar to the previous round. And there we go, trades do come in, so man advantage will be retained by NTC. Henny with the op once again, going to be able to find himself a quick opening onto Victor, so good position for NTC. Bubble and Punisher left to try and clutch this one out, and the HP isn't really amazing for Punisher to work with. The time is getting very low, and yeah, they're just really going to struggle trying to get onto this bomb site, but Punisher actually finds himself a quick kill there onto Phelps. Bubble with a great shot onto Lucas, and now it's only FNX and Henny on the site, so this could really get awkward. I don't think they're aware that both players are in this position, and Bubble, yeah, he just walked straight into the crosshair, so he will be taken down. No time anymore for the plan to come in. The bomb was left on long either way, and there you have it. NTC get themselves 2 rounds in a row, so chaining a couple of gun rounds together. It won't really be enough to break the economy yet of Wendigo, but it is beginning to diminish. This may be their last buy before they could be forced onto an eco, so good position right now for the Brazilian side.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game for me to cast. Obviously, I haven't had the pleasure of casting this this team yet, so it should be a good one indeed. But it looks as though Wendigo, they're straight out of the gate looking very strong already, up 7-2. And of course, this round does matter a lot, but look at this boost from FNX. Nice and close for Victor. Headshot comes in. FNX tries to back off the angle, but Chips is there for the trade. And they're making their way out towards platformer. Wendigo trying to search for that opening kill again to pull it back. Chips hops his way down towards Strawber, has the help as well. Well, headshot Phelps looks for the second as well, but it's Punisher to find Lucas. Chips and Punisher goes huge. And now it's only Bit and Henny in a 2 versus 4.
Yeah, good round for Wendigo right here. The trades go in their favour. It was a good start for NTC. FNX been able to claim that opening, of course, but his back was exposed as he tried to fall back to safety, and it just doesn't work out. Wasn't expecting so many players to be on the other side of that wall, I guess. And Wendigo, with the element of surprise, managed to get themselves an 8th round. So, as we can see, NTC just trying to save. They're going to try and carry over the op and the M4. And even when doing so, they aren't really going to be able to afford a full buy into the next round. The best they can do is Henny could drop over a rifle, and there'd be 2 players working with a much weaker buy.
Yeah, this isn't optimal at all for NTC right now. Of course, that CT side economy is so hard to get under wraps to start with anyway, and when you're in a position where right now you're just being absolutely manhandled by that T side, it's going to be hard to recover from that. And you can see only having a couple of weapons in the mix. At least the AWP was safe throw over from Henny. Bit is going to have himself a UMP check over on a MUMP. They've actually scrambled together a decent buy here, Dean. A little bit better than probably would have expected. Bit's actually going to go into that CZ through the M4 over to Lucas, and that's actually a better decision in my opinion. I feel like Lucas is a little bit more of a stable rifler, so yeah, it's a decent buy here. They'll be happy with that one compared to what it could have been. And now Wendigo will have obviously advantage coming into this one with the 5 AK-47s. Although there is still a chance towards this platform as Henny cracks things open for the CT side.
Indeed, and Spellin, he'll be able to strike. Victor does the same onto FNX, and now it's looking good for Wendigo once again. They claim themselves the man advantage, but Henny with the up actually doesn't connect that shot. And with a second chance given, he won't be able to either. So Bubble opens up this D-bomb site now, and the bomb plant should be found with the trade successfully coming in. Lucas falls, and now we can see it's all onto B. He's going to be alone with a CZ. Gets himself an M4 actually now to work with, but I don't really think he can do too much in this situation. He finds 1 kill, but that will be it. That will be it for Bit. And as you can see now, Wendigo to 9, and the force buy doesn't work out for NTC. Now they don't have the economy, and they're probably going to have to eco and actually concede double digits now to Wendigo.
Yeah, this is not optimal at all. I feel like Cobblestone's a little bit more of a T-sided map though, so when you've got that good start on that T-side, it's always good for you to keep that up. You got the 2 MAC-10s, Victor and Spell, and carrying those on board. They're going to be good to really grind out the cash here, get themselves a nice little bit of eco money. But look at this aggressive play from NTC. Lucas got to go down to Bubble. Second kill looking through the smoke with Bubble spraying through, but NTC have been halted in their tracks. Their push has been sought, and now this is where it is absolute devastation unless Henny can pull something back. The Bubble playing this very well, just falling back, passive angles, using the cover, tapping in and out, taking the headshots, and 10-2. Good scoreline already for Wendigo built up.
Nay Ray Ryan has proposed to me in the chat, said marry me. The answer is yes. Even if you're a dude, I don't care. I'm up for it. But yeah, getting back into the action, that is another good round by Wendigo. Of course, you were expecting them to take that and get the double digits with NTC not really having much to work with, but now they get the buyback out, they have the rifles, and it just seems like throughout this entire game, they've never been able to get those proper investments. They've always been weak on something, and this time it's the utility. They have the firepower now, but they don't have the smokes and molotovs. But FNX, he opens it up with one. Insta returns the down. Lucas now spotting a couple of players coming down through the drop room means that they probably are aware that this is going to be a fast play towards the B-bomb site. And there you have it. Punisher gets one bubble through the smoke, takes down Phelps. And it's just not looking good for NTC. That's all you can say.
Ooh, not at all. And look at this, man. Ship's just cracking heads open. Henny going down. And now it's only Bit trying to come in with a retake. Able to land the first one back. But there's nothing really on the cards for him right now. Success is somewhat impossible. His Punisher, Bubble and Spelling, they've just secured themselves the round here a bit, is going to be forced to save this M4 in the next round. And the Wendigo team have actually surprised me here, Dean. I was expecting maybe a little bit more of a contest, but they've just kind of made it look easy.
Yeah, Cobblestone is probably the best map in their map pool, as I mentioned earlier on, so if I was seeing Wendigo taking any of the maps, this was probably the most likely, and it's looking maybe just a bit more one-sided than I expected, but we do also have to remember that this NTC lineup is fairly new, or at least the addition of Phelps is. I think the core of 4 has been together for a while, but obviously there was a lot of turmoil going on that maybe affected them, but we aren't really aware of their map pool yet. We haven't really seen enough of a sample size to know what maps they're good on, to know what maps maybe they aren't as good on, but maybe like playing. So yeah, I guess we'll find out. Wendigo right now, they're in a great position though, 11-2.
Yeah, true. I feel like this team is going to be one of the world contenders at some point once they get everything worked out, because they are an unbelievably talented roster. We've seen major finalists. You got Phelps, who's played for SK, won that huge sort of run they had in the summer. And of course, every bit is sort of the unknown quantity into the team, though, and that's a little bit interesting to see how he'll fit in. Brazil seems to offer unlimited talent, though. It's quite interesting to see all of the different talent within the scene coming out. And only a few years ago, there was barely any mention of Brazilian Counter-Strike. And making their way inside of middle, though. It is going to be Wendigo trying to pressure the attack. Heavy stack towards the B site for NTC. Only one over towards this A side of things, and that's Henny with a Mag 7. So he's not going to be in a perfect position to deal with these AKs. They've just walked their way up middle here. They'll be trying to clear their way out towards that A site, not using any utility, so they've got as close as possible, and it's a contact play. Bit finds the first kill, Victor goes down, headshot proceeds, and now the T side, they'll use their utility, they'll get into that A bottom site, and the retake must commence.
Yeah, Mag 7 up close looking to try and get some work done, but no, Wendigo once again managed to bring this one back into their favour. 4-3 now in favour of the Bulgarian side, as the bomb plant is easily going to be found, and you can see NTC once again just in a disadvantage coming into a retake position with weak weaponry, and a very low chance of actually being able to pull this one off. It's looking like Wendigo are going to have themselves up to 12 at least right now. It's just looking so one-sided. It's not what not at all what I was expecting coming into this game. It's just all I can say, really.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, NTC, they'll probably not, as you said, they are a young roster, they're a new roster, and it does take time to get your map pool sort of fleshed out a little bit. And Wendigo, they've had time to sort of refine their cobblestone, so NTC, they shouldn't be too worried about it. If they get over onto that second half and they have a better start, they can probably grind out a few more rounds. They're not a team you can doubt at all. And there goes FNX taking bubble. And it looks as though Wendigo find him back. And it's quite interesting we're seeing a 12-2 scoreline. This is actually incredible right now. Wendigo showing us a lot of promise here in Cobble. And if they can sort of keep this momentum up going into the third map, we could see a battle come through.
Yeah, pretty good buy though for NTC. We saw Phelps was actually able to upgrade to an AK, so because he got that, he was able to drop that to Bit. He bought himself an M4, and Lucas was also able to drop a rifle over, or a UMP over to Henny rather. So it's a pretty solid buy coming into this one. When they go to, of course, right now they have so much momentum in their favour, and you see NTC doing their best. FNX gets aggressive over towards platform, looking to try and find an opening tilt for them to actually work with into this round, but nothing really being found. 0 damage yet connected. As right now, Wendigo just continue on with this very slow T side.
Yeah, this is where they sort of feel a lot more comfortable. In this sort of slow, methodical play, where they like to clear things out, use their utility, get as much ground as possible before being forced to show their hand and use their utility up. We've seen that in the last round where they filtered their way up middle. This time, NTC, I think they've actually adapted quite well to this last round, because they just wait, and Bit finds Victor. That's the first kill to come in, and that's for the Brazilians right now. Any round matters at this point. Every little round helps. But if they can get themselves their third round of the board, moving into the second half, it's not going to be as bad as only having 2. So It is a bit of a lost cause at the minute. Of course, they will need to pick up that pistol moving into the second half, nevertheless. And now Bubble shifts his attention towards Dropper, clearing every angle, but there's a deadly crossfire in there between Lucas and Phelps.
Indeed, but are not really working out. Wendigo getting all the opening kills once again. 3 on 2. Ship's not looking too healthy, neither is Bubble, and actually a quick flank is going to be coming in by Henny, so let's see how that works out. Bit though. Oh, the Molotov forces him back into the open, and Ship strikes from above, so now it's all onto Henny to try and clutch out the 1 on 3. Starts it off well by taking down the first player. Bubble falls. Ship's also being low, of course. Will he expect him up on top of the tree? And he does indeed, so he finds himself the second. Only one more needed. Punisher down to 66, but Henny himself not looking very healthy. A single bullet will be able to drop him. And we'll be able to confirm Wendigo with a 13-2 lead. Let's see if it's going to happen. Or will NTC get a much-needed third round? And Punisher right now, he's just got into such a strong position, so it's not going to happen. Wendigo, they go into the second half now leading 13-2, and that was just such a one-sided showing.
Yeah, that was very one-sided. Wendigo looked a lot more in tune with their team there. Utility usage was very good. They were just kind of waiting out the attack of the side, and it really did work out a lot better. And now it is going to be NTC. They have to pick up this pistol. Only 2 rounds in one half. That's not great at all. They need to win this pistol.